Welcome to the Lineman Lounge, hosted by Mike and Evo, calling their shots and being outlandish.
Breaking news from Lineman Lounge. My fantasy football team just took a huge fucking hit. And that also makes it even more likely that the Raiders are going to beat the Ravens on Monday night. Le'Veon Bell is about to be your starter. Latavius Murray is going to go there as well. Jesus, fuck my ass.
Get ready for the thickest podcast in the game. Coming to you from Hangar 6, where sleeves are optional. Strap in. The show starts right now.
¿Cómo están, bitches? This is the Lineman Lounge coming to you from Hangar 6. We are the thickest podcast in sports. I am Sleeveless Mike. The man to my left is Evo, and we are back for another badass night of watching some football, talking some football, and kind of getting everything going into the weekend. We got a big weekend. Obviously, Christmas is coming up. We're not going to be able to do a weekend show. So we are coming to you guys twice this week during the week. We had Monday. We had Monday when our teams were playing. Now we have a Thursday, and we're going to have a chance to do a little watch along. We're going to break down all the games, and we'll kind of get into some of the other storylines going on in sports. But there have not been too many crazy things going on that, we typically want to get into at the start of our shows.
Yeah, it's only been, 3 days since we were last here doing a lot of drinking on.
Doing a lot of drinking.
Basically our longest show.
Yeah, it's 5.5 hours. Yeah. So that episode is only available right now on YouTube or Facebook or the Twitter. I did not upload that to audio. There's a lot of dead space in there from us watching the game. It's a watch along. So that is not on audio. This one will be on audio. Now we are going to have a little bit of watch along, but we're also going to kind of get into the normal stuff that we talk about, breaking down and picking the games of the week. So that last episode is only on the YouTube, the video segment, not publishing 5.5 hours of that audio out on on Spotify or something like that. One.
And I think we were both kind of hurting towards the end, whether it just be from all the drinking or just kind of exhaustion from trying to stay with it the whole time.
Yeah. So we talked about it afterward. If we're going to do the watch along kind of thing, one game, that's all it could be. Yeah. 2 games is too long. And we didn't even watch a full 2 games. We came in a little bit into about halfway through the first quarter for the Browns. So that was too much. Now I do like doing the watch alongs. I'm kind of excited to be able to get, another watch along going. We got some college football going on right now. UCF and Florida and the
Gasparilla Bowl.
Gasparilla Bowl. What the fuck is Gasparilla? Any idea? I know what sarsaparilla is.
This is why I have a naked lady giver in front of me.
There you go.
So that way you can figure it out. What is Gasparilla? It's a bowl.
It is a bowl.
The name comes from the legendary pirate Jose Gaspar, the last of the Buccaneers, who terrorized the coastal waters of West Florida during the late 18th century and early 19th century. When Gaspar died, he supposedly left a fortune and buried treasure somewhere along the Florida coast. And Gasparilla is a festival, a pirate festival in Tampa. So,
all right,
the Gasparilla Pirate Festival is a large parade and host of related community events held in Tampa since 1904.
That is information you're probably not getting a lot of other places. Welcome to the fucking Lineman Lounge. We know how
you're basically watching the History Channel.
Yeah, I mean, this is what the hell's the guy's name? Who's the documentary guy on History Channel? What is his fucking name? He does other shit on Netflix. It's a Sir something.
Peter North?
No, that wasn't it.
I'm out.
All right. I mean, he's a very good actor. But
I'd love to be called the Peter North of the non-History Channel History Channel.
There you go.
All right. Unofficial name.
The Peter North of. I mean, for me, everybody on this channel is fantastic. They're not as good as Johnny Sins, but
True. He's done everything.
Yeah, literally everything.
Yep. That is a multifaceted joke. But yeah, so like you're getting into, there's not been a whole lot that's happened in the world of sports. I mean, there's been a ton. If we wanted to focus on specific teams or specific sports, we could definitely get in depth with all that stuff. But major news things, there's not been a ton going on since we last were here on Monday. Most of it is your normal COVID, COVID's affecting everything in every sport.
Yeah, that son of a bitch is back, and I'm so fucking tired of it. COVID's a pain in the ass. That's what COVID is. Okay, listen, I understand a lot of people died at the very beginning. COVID was kind of a scary thing for a lot of people. For some people, it still remains a scary thing. It's getting better, but it's not all the way better. It's still a shit show. We see COVID causing, wreaking havoc in the sports world still. Games being moved. The reason that we did games on Monday and Tuesday night. It's just, I'm so fucking tired of COVID.
Everyone is tired of this shit. It seems like the only people that are trying to push it is just fucking like government. That's why we're still just going to keep on it. We went through the Ligma variant, the Sugma variant, Omicron. We're about to get on Bofa variant. I'm ready for it to be fucking done, man.
Yeah, I'm done with COVID. I'm fucking.
That's what I want for fucking Christmas.
Yeah, no shit.
An end to this shit.
Stop fucking
giant meteor. That's what I want. End this fucking shit. I'm tired of it.
Man, that was the millennial quote of all millennial quotes right there. Just fucking end it.
I'm done.
Yeah, not great. I'm fucking tired of COVID. But what I am not tired of is sports. Now, there was not a ton of sports news. We did have a little bit of baseball news. The little bit of baseball news that we did have, Cody Bellinger avoids arbitration.
Joe Rockstar's already posted, and he's going to be watching tonight because his Niners are playing. Thought that I was wearing a Niners sweatshirt. No, sir. I don't have any Niners gear. Where's my glasses? Oh, because he's old. He needs his glasses.
He is old. Also,
sorry I have to leave you guys during the game, but I'll check in time to time. Go Niners. Well,
all right. Well, Joe, we appreciate you hopping in for now. Obviously, we know there's going to be people watching that game. Yep. As I was saying, Cody Bellinger avoids arbitration. They sign a 1-year, $17 million deal. This is a guy who had a really tough season, banged up with injuries, and then comes out in the playoffs and is an absolute stud for him. Hits a fucking home run that nobody expects. Fastball up at his goddamn neck. Drives out to right field and kind of keeps the Dodgers in their series. Good to see him back. I hope at some point that the Dodgers do lose him. I'm tired of the fucking Dodgers being really good, hoarding all my goddamn left-handed hitting outfielders. I don't think the Indians or the now Guardians, will ever be able to afford to pay that man. But I can fucking dream.
Yeah, well, dream away.
Yeah, it's never gonna happen. The Guardians, hopefully, unless they sell the team. I don't know what the hell's gonna happen with that. But that was the only little bit of baseball news. Basketball is still going on. Teams still got fucking COVID. Players are quarantined. It's getting really hard to bet on basketball. So I've made quite a bit of money betting parlays on basketball. It's getting incredibly hard to do that because I will set a parlay up and then 20 minutes later, it's like, oh, hey, by the way, fucking LeBron James is out with COVID, or insert star player's name out with COVID.
Yeah, it's really tough. It's really ridiculous. I mean, as we're sitting at work and stuff like that, we get updates. So-and-so is at, on the COVID list now. So-and-so is on the COVID list now. It just happened to my Vikings, which we'll get into a little bit.
Happened with my fucking Browns today.
Yeah. But I guess kind of overall NFL news is the NFL is now saying that asymptomatic players are not spreading COVID. Specifically, that the data shows asymptomatic individuals are not spreading COVID-19, according to the NFL's chief medical officer, which that's been purported by a lot of medical doctors out there that they're not seeing a spread from asymptomatic people. The NFL obviously changed up their COVID rules here recently. Mm-hmm. For vaccinated players and asymptomatic players. So just reading into the article here is NFL and NFL Players Association agreed last week to halt the weekly testing on vaccinated players and begin random testing samples across teams and positions. Vaccinated players who report symptoms are required to be tested, and unvaccinated players will continue to be tested daily. But yeah, that's Alan Sills, the chief medical officer for the NFL, basically said that data shows that the disease is not spreading from asymptomatic individuals, which is a pretty big departure from the stance of the public health authorities for much of the pandemic.
Yeah.
Look, we're getting into like 2 years into this thing, and we've learned a whole lot. And it, again, it's tough to not breach into like some of the socio-political stuff in this realm, but we're dealing with a lot of archaic policies from the beginning of the whole pandy, and we need to start making adjustments as a entire community.
These fucking kids. Yes, we do need to start making some adjustments with the policies. The NFL started to make adjustments. They're no longer testing vaccinated asymptomatic players, which is fucking smart. You get guys go on Joe Rogan's podcast to say, listen, nobody who's fucking asymptomatic is passing on COVID. We have people who are vaccinated who are never going to get it again. There's a lot of things that are going on out there, and we need to kind of...
I mean, the CDC has gone out and said, too, that if you get it, you can't pass it along. The CDC has said that they have 0 confirmed cases
of getting it a second
time. Now, you might still have whatever antibodies, the antigen tests or PCR tests might still show that you have it because there can be long-lasting things from it. But the CDC was basically pushed because the CDC has been telling everyone to get the vaccine. And if you want to get the vaccine, cool. If you don't, cool. That's my take personally. But they've come out and we're saying even if you've had it, you should get vaccinated. And then doctors such as Dr. Peter McCullough have come out and said, hey, have there been any recurrences? Have anyone gotten it again? And they were not able to come up with any data of anyone getting the virus for a second time. These are the sorts of things that as the science comes out, as the data comes out, we need to be able to adjust and not stick to these old norms. The NFL seems like it's kind of starting to do that because they stand to make and lose a lot of money based on players playing.
Yeah, absolutely. The NFL is in the money-making business. That's all they give a shit about. But if there's no players on the field, because they have to follow certain restrictions in line with city and state ordinances, because that's where these games are taking place with, upwards of 70, 80,000 people in these fucking stadiums. So yeah, they got to have,
a little comment from Rockstar here.
All right.
Joe says, I should have come to watch with you guys. My internet is out at my house, had to go out. But if the game goes south for us, no one wants to watch a full-grown man throw a fit. I mean, you could throw a fit. We don't care.
Yeah, I tried to not throw a fit last time. However, I was a little drunk last time, so I just ended up repeating myself several times. But yeah, I'm glad that they're starting to do it this way. They're trying to make money. We need these players on the field. We need people going back to their lives. If you've had COVID, myself, I've had COVID. It's not fun. I got better, thankfully. Hence why we still have this podcast. But we need this, yeah. Especially now, if the Omicron is not very bad, like it's like a mild version of all this. Let's treat this shit like the chicken pox. Let's everybody get fucking COVID, and then we can go back to living our goddamn lives.
Yeah, it's a definitely touchy subject. There's some people that have been very, very seriously affected by that, and it makes it very personal. So it's tough to talk about it to some extent, but I mean, there's a lot of valid frustrations in general with it, and we're no scientists. We're just a couple dumb fucking thick boys talking about fucking sports. But there's sometimes you can just see where things are going and how they should be going. And, what looks right probably is right. What looks wrong probably is wrong.
Right.
Let's start moving in the right direction. But you ready to actually get into some of our football games for this coming week here?
Yeah. So we got quite a few games. I mean, we're getting the first game in before, so we should probably start trying to break down tonight's game before this thing gets started and we get it kicked on.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
We got 49ers versus the Titans. This game is taking place out in Nashville, Tennessee. Niners having a pretty good year so far, getting to 8-6. It did not look great at the start of the year. Titans looked fucking dominant early on in the season. They have fallen back a bit. They're at 9-5. I'm very interested to see how this game goes. We have two physical teams that typically like to run the football. How do you see this game going?
So Elijah Mitchell's out for the 49ers, but they should have Debo being able to run the ball a little bit more. That's actually worked out for them pretty well. On the opposite side, of course, Derrick Henry's out for those Titans. That's completely changed up that team. They do have
Deontay
Foreman, who is not Derrick Henry, but he's a big boy.
Oh, he's a big, thick boy. I can get behind that.
Yeah.
But
you've seen, I mean, you got tonight for the Titans, you got Julio playing, and then AJ Brown.
AJ Brown is making his comeback tonight.
Now we'll see if there's any sort of rust on him because he's been out for a while. We'll see if the injury actually still is going to affect him some, but he is going to be playing tonight. Someone that I'm glad that I picked up the stash on my IR slot in the fantasy league, which, by the way, I'm playing in the playoffs this week and finished first place. Hopefully, going to earn myself a little bit of scratch from that. But I'm not playing Brown tonight because I just don't know what you're going to get out of him.
Right.
So it'll be an interesting match. I mean, fan voting right now has it almost 50-50 as far as who people think is going to win. Now the line is showing San Francisco -3.5. I think that this game is being played in Nashville, so you're not getting a home field advantage boost from the Niners. So for the Niners to be favorites here, I mean, the Titans have not looked fantastic lately.
They have not.
Derrick Henry going down really, really changed their team. And there's still that possibility that he could come back. I mean, there's more slips of reports that this foot injury, it depends on how he recovers from it. Apparently he's been recovering very well.
And it was a Liz Frank, right?
Yeah. And so I had to look it up, but it is the outside bone, outside of your foot, kind of over top of the arch.
Okay.
And they put like some pins or a plate in there. I don't know exactly what. However, for Derrick Henry, what the doctors are saying is that this is where he plants on cuts a lot, is the outside of that foot. So there's going to be a lot of pressure on it. So for him to come back, that thing has to be pretty solid.
And he, I don't know if you've noticed, is not fucking little. That is a large goddamn man. And the amount of force that he has to put on his bones, being that big and that fucking fast, that's no joke.
Yeah. Absolutely. So for him to be able to come back, that would be huge for them. I don't know if he'll be exactly what he was. No. You might not see as many cuts. You're just going to try to see him be a little bit more of a bulldozer. But either way, that's not going to affect tonight. Nope. Titans are 9-5. 49ers are 8-6. The Niners have kind of been trending up. The Niners have kind of been trending down. I'm going with the Niners tonight. I'm picking them to win outright. I'm not going to take the 3.5 because I think this could absolutely be a close game. The over/under is 45.5. I'm hoping that can actually hit the over. I'm hoping that the Titans will see a little bit of offensive boost from having those receivers out there. But for me tonight, it's the 49ers. I've got Kittle getting over 100 yards again and 2 touchdowns. And I need it. He's on my fantasy team, baby. So that's who I'm really focusing on tonight is Kittle, because Kittle has been absolutely dominant since he's come back from that injury.
So goddamn I love having him on my fantasy team.
And that's who I've got tonight is the Niners. I think they're going to be able to go there into Nashville, a little chilly night, 48 degrees, and put it on the Titans.
So I'm actually going the other way here because I am betting this spread. I do expect this to be a close game. I think the Titans getting back A.J. Brown, even if A.J. is not what he was before he left, having him back on the field opens up the rest of the offense for the Titans. They're going to need to run the ball. They're going to need to throw the ball quite a bit, I think, because Deontay Foreman is not a bad back, but he is not a bell cow back. I do have a nice little same game parlay. I got Deontay Foreman getting over 40 yards. I got Tannehill going over 210.5 on FanDuel because, I think he's going to have to if they're going to keep this game close. I have Debo having a massive game, though. Over 33.5 rushing yards and 46.5 receiving yards because Elijah Mitchell is out. Ooh, we got rum balls. Hell yeah.
Some balls in your mouth.
So producer Amber, also my beautiful and amazing wife, is out there making rum balls, and I'm very excited to try one of those. I also got Jimmy G going over 200 yards. That's going to be close because I don't know if they're going to have to do too much. But I also got George Kittle going over 40 yards. $10 pays me 144. I just think that the Titans can keep it close at home. I don't expect this to be a real high scoring game. I know you want that over. It just doesn't feel like there's going to be a ton of points.
I'm not betting the over.
Okay.
I would like to see it because I like to watch some exciting football.
Some good football.
Some offensive explosive football when it's not my team giving up the points. I kind of like to see that. One thing of note here, I'm trying to pull up what we got going on with the COVID for this game specifically because it's tough to keep we can go over some of the COVID stuff for these games going on later in the week, but it's all fluid. This is updated as of today. So this kind of is more imperative for if you plan on betting this game that's going to start here real quick, if not already starting.
Now. I think it's getting ready to kick right now.
Yeah. So the Titans are down, I believe, 4 players. Their offensive line is already hurt with Taylor Lewan being out. His backup, Kendall Lamb, is now on the COVID list. So their backup left tackle is out. I'm not sure who's going to be starting with him. Roger Saffold, the starting left guard, he's out as of Wednesday.
Cool.
And then receiver Des Fitzpatrick and cornerback Elijah Molden are both also on the COVID list, won't be playing. They did upgrade, offensive lineman Christian Delorio from the practice squad. Don't know who he is. And some other guys that, no offense to them, but are kind of no-namers to me. So I don't know if they're going to be seeing a boost from guys coming back from the COVID list, but they definitely do have a couple significant players that are going to be out. And if that offensive line is hurting, it's just going to make things even more difficult for their offense.
Yeah. Oh, God. Man. I'm sticking with what I got. I don't have a choice. I've already put in a 16-leg parlay to potentially win me $320,000. So I'm definitely pulling hard for the Titans. Now, granted, $10 is the bet I lose if they don't pull that off. And I think Tannehill will have a decent game. I got him going over to 10. We'll see. The game is getting ready to kick off right now. We were just able to get there. So I imagine all the betting is now closed.
And the 49ers do not currently have any players on the COVID list.
So that's very good for the 49ers.
And kickoff, there we are. And a touchdown. I'm surprised he didn't run that out.
I am very surprised considering
it was right on the end zone line.
Yeah. Not typically. I mean, you don't get a lot of chances in the NFL anymore to run the ball out. So I figured that he would absolutely give that a shot.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to try one of these run balls.
So they're showing Jimmy Garoppolo first 7 games, 3-4. The last 6, he's 5-1, 10 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, and a 110.2 quarterback rating. So Jimmy G, he's a starter in the league. He's not one of your high-end starters necessarily. He's not invigorating your team, but he has been playing better these past, 6-7 games. And that's definitely provided a boost. I think getting guys like a Kittle back,
it makes a huge difference.
Mixing in Ayuk a little bit more when Ayuk did not play in the beginning of the year, that helps out a lot. And then you've had just a significant amount of injuries to that backfield. They are a team that likes to run. So injuries to the backfield, forcing the pass a little bit more and forcing them to get creative and use Debo in the backfield as a running back.
Right.
That actually opens up your passing options quite a bit more.
Well, and they had some guys that they expected to kind of contribute that have not. Mm-hmm. Trey Sherman, a guy that I expected to kind of come in and see some carries.
I drafted him. I had to get rid of him because he hasn't been much of anything.
I don't think he's fucking played really.
He's played some. He's not contributed much of anything.
Yeah, I mean, I know earlier in the season he had a couple games when Elijah Mitchell was out. I'm not sure what he's done.
He got injured pretty quick in those.
Yes, he did. So that is not. They need a big time back, and if they can get that going, or at least a really good timeshare with Elijah Mitchell as maybe a change of pace guy.
Hey, Frank Gore's out there.
Yeah, well, that's not what I'm thinking, but is there a chance that we see Jimmy G stay in San Francisco next year with how he's playing right now? And there have not been any calls for Trey Lance to come in and kind of take over. The things that they saw from Trey Lance, they were not. I mean, he's athletic. Yeah, he's got a big arm.
I don't think you can. I think the the move is to get Jimmy G out of the building, get what you can for him. I feel like Lynch, John Lynch, the GM there, then that whole team atmosphere is they want to try to run with the Chiefs model, where you have the veteran guy playing, your rookie gunslinger arm sitting behind him. We all knew Trey Lance was going to take time to become an NFL quarterback, that he can't just run off of his physical intangibles. I think that's the model that they're going to try to go with, though, is that Lance, this is his red shirt year, kind of. He's gotten to play a little bit here and there, see a little bit from him, but let him learn the NFL game, let him get back into football shape, let him get NFL coaching, and then we got to run with him because he was such a high pick in the first round. I mean, obviously, if I'm the GM, I'm wanting to keep Jimmy G because he's a known commodity,
right?
And we're not seeing behind the scenes what's happening with Trey Lance, if he's progressing like they're expecting. But I feel like with today's NFL, they're going to want to start their, high first round pick quarterback.
Yeah, I mean,
and kind of Jimmy G, you could be talking about getting a first round pick in a trade for him. I don't know personally that he's worth it to me, but I think that a needy team could do that.
You have a team ready to win right now, and you're missing the piece at quarterback, I could see a first round pick being the guy. Because are you going to get a rookie that's better than Jimmy G and ready to perform at that level? And
it's all dependent on where you're picking. But I mean, we see a lot of impact rookies. You've got a bunch of rookies making the Pro Bowl and whatnot this year. Rookies definitely can make an impact, but you're not going to get a rookie quarterback.
No.
If you're a quarterback away, then it makes sense to
go look for a veteran. If you can't pry Aaron Rodgers away from Green Bay, or Russell Wilson away from Seattle, you're looking at Jimmy G, Deshaun Watson. Now, Deshaun is a better player, but I'm dropping him down a tier based on all the legal issues. You're not going to get as much for Deshaun as you would have to give up for a Russell or for Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
So I'd put him in that second tier of what you would have to pay to get him. If you are one of those teams, then yeah. I mean, there's a chance that the Browns are in that situation. I don't think they would do that. I think they're going to give Baker one more chance, one more year, finish out his fifth year. But it would not be the first time we've seen a team pick up a team option and then fucking trade him or release him. It happens all the time on that fifth-year option.
And I mean that kind of happened with Darnold. He got shipped off to Carolina, and Carolina picked up that fifth-year option. And they've come out recently saying that they're not closing the book on Darnold yet either.
I mean, but if you're a Carolina team and you can go get a Jimmy G or a Deshaun Watson or one of these other guys, that defense looked pretty goddamn good at the start. If they don't have a period of time where their quarterback starts playing like dog shit, constantly giving the team the ball on the wrong side of the fucking field, that defense is probably still being talked about. Get in the goddamn end zone.
Oh, ball's up.
No, he's down.
Yeah, he should be down. But Debo
is already off to a fucking hot start.
Line.
So I have a bet in Debo Samuel or Deontay Foreman score first touchdown of the game. Those are delicious, but they definitely taste a little bit like liquor.
Oh, well.
Yeah. So I don't know if Debo is going to be able to get in here. This looks like a kill spot. Who's fucking starting running back for him tonight? Was it Trey Sherman?
I'm honestly not sure.
Jeff Wilson. Okay. Well, that kills that bet. Good for Jeff Wilson, though. Sons of bitches. All right. Well, it's off to a hot start. There's one score on the board. So let's go ahead and let's get into some of at least one of our other games before they get back from this break here.
So Saturday games, we got two on Saturday, one that we'll talk about a little bit later, but we've got the Colts and the Cardinals playing, something that I think a lot of our Arizona fanboys are going to be paying attention to because the Cardinals have been talked about a lot as a Super Bowl contender this year.
They have.
And then they've kind of, not looked great the past few weeks, dropped a few.
Yeah.
And the Colts, on the other hand, have looked pretty phenomenal.
Really good.
So right now the line is Arizona -1. This game is being played here in Arizona, but the Cardinals are 3-3 at home.
Yeah.
They have had most of their turnovers happen here at home, especially from Kyler.
Also a team that has a really hard time stopping the run.
Mm-hmm.
And that is not what you want when you're facing the Indianapolis Colts and Jonathan fucking Taylor.
Yes, Jonathan Taylor, the guy who got the most Pro Bowl votes of any player.
Yeah, that's impressive.
Who is in that talk for NFL MVP, rightfully so. I'm taking the Colts in this one.
Me too.
I said several weeks ago, I think that they were playing. I don't remember who they were playing. They were playing someone strong. I was like, this is the game. If they win, I'm kind of riding with the Colts until they prove me wrong. Otherwise, they've looked really good. Carson Wentz, I hate him. I don't like him because the biggest reason why I don't like him is because he scares me as a quarterback. If he's the quarterback of my team, I'm worried every time that he gets the ball in his hands and drops back that he's going to fall apart into shambles, just break, because he's just always injured. But playing behind a very, very good offensive line, he's one of the least hit, least sacked quarterbacks in the NFL this year, and it's making a difference for him. It's the Colts for me. So I actually would take in the Colts. I obviously would be taking the line if I was feeling a little bit more worried about it. Over under is 49. I think we could see the over on this game.
I think that's an over.
These teams both have good offensive potential. Cardinals got to figure out what they're doing with that backfield. One of the fears I had of them getting Chase Edmonds back was that it was going to take snaps away from Connor.
Mm-hmm.
And from what we've seen from Connor, being the lead back there works better with that team. And Chase Edmonds is more their receiving back, but still you're taking some snaps away from Connor. Now Connor's a little beat up, but I mean, I felt like there could be a little potential drop off from Edmonds coming back.
Yeah.
The offensive flow could change, and we might be seeing a little bit of that. I mean, it was the first week back for Edmonds last week. We'll see if they can figure it out, but Kyler's looked a little rough. Obviously don't have D-Hop. It's the Colts for me, man.
Colts for me as well. I got them plus 1.5. I do think that they will win this game, but I did take the points, even though I think it's going to be an upset. The Colts are really fucking good at running the football. The Cardinals are not really good at stopping the run. Carson Wentz has played really, really well, and the Cardinals' offense has started to kind of fall behind. Obviously, losing D-Hop is a massive part of that. There's going to be a drop-off anytime you lose 1A, 1B receiver in the NFL. But I saw some reports that Carson Palmer is coming out and questioning the leadership ability of Kyler Murray. Can he get it together down the stretch? Talked about it before. It's the third year in a row the Cardinals have started to peter off at the end of the season. And if it goes this way, where they lose out after looking like the best team in the NFC, I don't think we're going to see Cliff there. Now, I think we will still see Kyler for a couple more years, but there's going to be some serious conversations that maybe Kyler isn't the guy going forward because he can't get it done late in the season, whether that's his leadership or if he just cracks under the pressure when the lights get real big. I don't know.
Kyler's one of those guys that he is way, way, way more productive when he is on an alibi play, when he is not in the pocket. He's moving, he's making things happen. When the play breaks down, Kyler picks it up. If you're able to contain Kyler in the pocket, it takes away his biggest variable, his biggest positive.
Yeah.
And that's, as an NFL quarterback, you should be able to at least play in the pocket. Being able to do both, that makes you electric.
Oh, yeah.
And not that Kyler can't play in the pocket, but he's just not as good. It takes away that explosiveness for him. I was never a huge fan of him. I thought the narrative of him being like another Russell Wilson was always kind of overblown just because he's short.
Every short guy's the next Russell Wilson until they realize that he's not.
And I haven't been a Cliff Kingsbury fan. Now, I don't think we're going to see him gone after this season, even if they have a flop. I think they'll ride it out. I think Kyler and Cliff probably are more attached at the hip than we think.
Yeah.
Because that was Cliff's guy. When he came in, he wanted Kyler. I think that they'll be a little bit more attached at the hip. This is a huge game for the Cardinals. If they expect and want to go deep in the playoffs, they have to be able to play versus playoff caliber teams and show that they can win.
And this is one, and I don't think they're going to show that. I think they're going to lose. I took the extra point and a half, just to hedge my bet a little bit, but I still think they're going to lose this game. I do not like their chances. The Colts just match up so well against this team, especially without D-Hop.
It seems like they are built to play the Cardinals right now. And that's, again, Carson scares me. That's the only thing that gives me any doubt about the Colts right now. But again, until they show me otherwise, like I'm going to be riding with them. And as much as I like the Cardinals and I'm happy for all of our Arizona fans here and how good of a season they've been having, they have not looked good at the end of the year when it really is important that you do. Going back to the game going on right now, the Niners have been showing up pretty well on defense so far here on this first drive. Bosa is feasting. Tannehill's already been sacked. They've already gotten him for a loss on a screen pass. And I think that one of the biggest things for me with this Titans team is I don't think Tannehill's the guy. He
had a couple really, really good resurgent years at getting out from that Adam Gase fucking shadow.
Absolutely. But he is 14 for 14 touchdown interceptions.
Mm-hmm.
That's not good.
No.
Averaging 233 passing yards a game, which is okay, but it's lower end. If you have a running team, which this was a running team with Derrick Henry there, that makes a little bit more sense. But the touchdown to interception ratio is just not cutting it for me. And then the decision making that earlier on that screen pass, like I was talking about, it was, I believe, their first offensive play. All the defenders were in the backfield. He did not drop far enough back to be separated away from the screenplay, where he basically threw into the pack of defenders where the running back was. The running back was hit as he was getting the ball. Like it at that point, it's quarterbacks should be making a different read to get rid of the ball or put the ball into the dirt or something like that. I don't think his decision making is great. I don't think he offers you enough winning potential as a quarterback. I think that's something that's going to hurt the Titans long term if they don't get rid of him. Yeah,
Tannehill is dependent on the run game. Now we see other quarterbacks in the league that are like that. A Jimmy G, a Baker Mayfield. They need the running game, and they don't have that right now. So can Tannehill go out and just dominate and win you a game? I don't think so. Now he has some ability with his legs. He was a wide receiver in college. He is athletic, but he had really good decision making in those first couple of years after he got out from Adam Gase. And now that has really regressed. I think he started to kind of try to push the envelope.
He's reminding me of Mariota now. And I think that's a good spot for him, is to be a Mariota, a backup who has potential to come in and play several, snaps per game and stuff like that. And he's definitely one that I would feel very comfortable with as a backup if my quarterback went down.
Absolutely.
But he's not the guy that I want to hinge my future on.
Yeah, I'm kind of in that same boat. As a Browns fan, I hear people compare Baker to every fucking quarterback in the league. We get comments like on the last episode, Nick Mullins, QB1, all that shit. And Baker is better than Tannehill. Baker he's not as athletic. I think he's got a better arm.
I think he's a better quarterback.
And his decision-making is better.
He's maybe not a better athlete. He's a better quarterback.
Yeah. And Tannehill's just not doing it for me. Those couple years after Gase, man, I can't tell you how good he was. He was fantastic. But now we're seeing a regression. It took a little while, but if you give a player in the NFL enough time, they're going to show you who and what they are. And when they show you what they are, you have to believe them. This is the guy Tannehill is. He's not a guy you can depend on to go out and win you a game every week. He's just not that guy. So this team absolutely needs Derrick Henry back, especially if they're going to have any chance at making a run in the playoffs.
Absolutely. All right, next game to talk about, we got the Detroit Lions and Atlanta Falcons being played in Atlanta. That's the Detroit Lions that beat the Cardinals last week.
Correct.
They didn't just beat them. They kind of fucking terrorized them.
Handled that team.
Extremely surprising win. Congratulations to the Lions. I mean, they have a chance to beat the Falcons this week. If they can beat the Cardinals, I think they can beat just about anyone. And like we said this many, many, many times, they held it out with the Ravens until a record-breaking field goal. They've come very close to, being within 3 to 5 points of some very significant teams. They've had Lady Luck not on their side this year. But Dan Campbell, the way that, he's coaching that team is exciting. It's exciting to be a Detroit fan for what the future has in store. Right now, the line is Atlanta -5.5 with an over-under of 43.
Do you want to toss the lines up there so people can see them as well?
Yeah, absolutely. For me, I'm gonna say fuck it and roll with the Lions. I think the Lions are gonna ride this energy. The Falcons, they technically are in the playoff hunt.
Yeah, but I mean they're in the playoff hunt, but they're not in the playoff hunt, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Now I'm not sure if the Lions can come off of that emotional high that they had last week and follow it up. I really like Dan Campbell. He is just a master motivator. That team still plays hard as shit. I absolutely have them covering. And when I got it at 6. I think they can cover 5.5. They may win this game. The Falcons are not technically out of it. They are playing better than I thought they would play. Kyle Pitts looks like he's going to be the real deal with a couple more years.
I mean, they're a sub 500 win team right now, and they're going to be sub 500 win team by the end of the year. I don't have any doubt about that. They've got some issues. I mean, look, like you just brought Pitts. He's having a prolific year for a tight end quietly because you have some of these guys like Kittle, Kelsey, Andrews, who are fucking phenomenal tight ends, putting up great fucking numbers, and it makes you kind of overlook a guy like Pitts, but Pitts is having the best rookie season of a tight end, I think, ever. He's on pace to have the best rookie tight end season, at least for receiving yards. I'm not sure about all metrics, but either way, he's doing good for them. But I mean, you still have questions because Cordero Patterson was not expected to be the starting running back there. He's shown to be doing very well, but can that be maintained going forward? I'm not so sure. Matt Ryan is getting up there in age. You've got some options at receiver, assuming that, they get their star receiver back from, dealing with his mental health issues. It's there's a lot of question marks there. I'm surprised that they are at 6 and 8, I believe, right now. But it's not necessarily trending well for them. It's going to be a really interesting offseason to see what ownership decides to do with that team and if they're going to try to rebuild or implode, blow the whole thing up and start over. What excites me, though, for the Lions is that they have Reynolds go out there at running back last week. 26 carries, over 100 yards. He looked pretty damn good. Goff finally had himself an okay game. I mean, 3 touchdowns is nothing to overlook, but he was 21 for 26, only 216 yards, but that's very efficient. And then you have Amon-Ra St. Brown. We talked about him at work today, I, where, brother of Equanimous St. Brown, great names in this fucking family.
Yes.
But Amon-Ra St. Brown, rookie, I liked him coming out, but I thought he's a extremely solid number 3 with number 2 wide receiver potential on a team.
Yeah.
And right now he's their number 1 receiving option. He's getting a lot of targets. He had 8 receptions, 90 yards and a touchdown last week. The past 3 weeks he's shown up very well for that team. And I think that they're going to continue to run with that model that they have going. The defense for the Falcons isn't that great. So I think that the Lions, if they're able to replicate what they did last week, that they have a good chance of winning this game.
Yeah, so this Dan Campbell coach team is going to be – they're going to end up becoming a very physical team. They're going to play good defense, and they're going to run the ball. That's the kind of coach that Dan Campbell is. They're just not there yet, but we're starting to see those elements kind of take place a little bit. That's starting to come to fruition. That's what they did against the Cardinals. Able to run the ball. They played really good fucking defense. And they have some guys, once they get guys healthy, they have a staple of backs that can do some really good shit in the backfield. Like, I like DeAndre Swift. Who was the kid's name this last weekend, you said? Reynolds. He looked pretty good. And then you got Jamal Williams there as well still. Jamal. Yeah, it is Jamal Williams.
I believe so.
And then it's going to be, can Goff get better? Can Goff show that he doesn't need Sean McVay? I don't know.
I don't think so. I think Goff has had a couple good years there with the Rams, and now he's kind of regressed to the point where he's going to be this spot starting quarterback. He can get you through a year, stuff like that. I think his future will be that of journeyman or extremely solid backup.
Yeah, that's kind of where I see him as well. But right now,
Garoppolo might have just thrown a pick in the end zone. Yep.
All right. Well,
interception by the Titans.
Interception by, you can't make that decision down there in the fucking red zone.
He was going for Kittle, which Kittle was a big part of that drive to get down there into the red zone. But that's what's going to hurt you. That's what you get with Jimmy G. He is not the best decision maker with some of these passes. It's why you've seen some of these turnovers, unfortunately. But back to that Lions-Falcons game. I'm not going to pick the Lions to win outright, but I'm going to take the points for the Lions.
I'm as well. I got the Lions +6 there. You said they're now at 5.5.
Mm-hmm.
That line is trending towards Lions, and I think it might even move a little bit more.
I mean, we got time before these games happen on Sunday where, COVID could roll.
Yeah, it absolutely could. I hope COVID doesn't affect any of these other fucking games going forward, but it more than likely will. But I'm on the Lions +6.
Yep. All right. Next, we have the Ravens and the Bengals being played in Cincy. I know this is a game for you where you're wanting the Bengals to lose. I mean, it's kind of tough. The Ravens and the Bengals are both 8-6 right now, both contenders in the AFC.
So I'm actually rooting for the Bengals to win. So right now, we are one game behind the Ravens and the Bengals in the division. But we have the head-to-head win against the Bengals where we split 1-1 against the Ravens. We have a chance to go 2-0 against the Bengals here late in the season. So if we can get into a tie head-to-head, that would give us the advantage over the Bengals. So I'm going for the Bengals in this game.
And the line is, according to Caesar Sportsbook right now, Cincinnati -3 with an over-under of 45. I'm going with the Bengals on this one.
I'm going the Bengals on the money line.
Yep.
I'm taking the Ravens to cover 3.5, though. I think they lose by 3. Huntley is not bad. He fits perfectly in that fucking Ravens offense.
Mm-hmm.
So we didn't see a massive drop-off. They put the fear of God in the Packers last week, going for 2 again and then failing. They could have won that game. Huntley played pretty fucking well.
They should have won that game.
Yeah.
That was coaching decisions to not kick extra points again or go for, kicks. And I think it's bit some teams in the butt. But that's part of,
you got the best kicker in NFL history on your team. I don't know why you don't kick the extra point there, go to overtime, get a stop, kick the field goal from fucking 70 yards out like Justin Tucker could probably
Harbaugh was a special teams coordinator. He should be wanting to rely on that special teams. Now, you bring up Huntley. I don't know if he's going to play. We didn't know he was going to play until like game day this week. The talk was that Lamar would probably be back, and then they ended up deactivating him because he was so close to playing last week. I feel like Lamar will be ready to go this week.
And if Lamar is ready to go, I still like my Ravens +3.5. I think the Bengals can get a win. Teams now have a recipe for how you beat the Ravens. That is on tape for the whole fucking NFL to see. And teams are utilizing it. The Bengals have an extremely good offense. Joe Mixon has really come on as of late. Sans the little bit of injuries that he's had. So I got Bengals winning. I have the Ravens on the cover of 3.5.
Alrighty. Yeah, that's for me. It's Bengals winning. Ravens 3.5. I think I'd take that. Right now it's -3 for Cincy. I don't know if I'm going to take the Ravens cover for that one. Yeah, I think it'll be close to a 3-point game.
Yeah.
So with it being Ravens -3, I don't know if I see that. Next game, we have a replay of a game that we just had recently here. Patriots and Bills, this time being played in Foxborough. Right now it's showing to be 42 degrees and partly cloudy. No idea what the winds are going to be there. But that's what heavily affected our last matchup between the Patriots and the Bills was the wind. That was your game where you saw 3 passes from Mac Jones. I don't know if they're going to be able to run with that same game plan.
I don't think so.
You're going to see a different sort of game on this one. Now, I'd like to take the Bills here, but the Patriots just have, apart from last week, Patriots have been real good. Belichick has them playing, good at the end of the year, and this one's being played in Foxborough in December. So right now the line is New England -2.5, over under 43.5. This could be one of those low-scoring games. Again, the Bills, I don't know why they aren't putting up more points, why their offense isn't as explosive as it should be. I like the Bills' offense a lot. I like the Bills' offense a lot against even this Patriots defense, but they just haven't been playing to their potential for whatever reason. It kind of makes you wonder about Brian Daboll, who is
head
coaching candidate,
Yep.
because he's the one running that offense over there. But, oh boy, for me, I'm going to go with the Pats on this one.
And I'm actually going to go the opposite way again here. I think the Bills have a very sour taste in their mouth from the last game. They lose a game where the quarterback only threw it 3 times. I don't see that kind of shit happening again. I think the Bills get a big bounce back, get a win here. I think their offense is kind of sputtering a little bit. I think they can figure out some of the things to make that offense go a little bit better. And I am very interested to see what happens for the Bills defense. So I don't know if you saw the little press conference afterwards. A reporter asked Micah Hyde and Jordan Poyer.
Mm-hmm.
So this was the first time a team has ever won a game where a quarterback has only thrown 3 passes, or it hasn't happened in 40 years. Then he asked them is that embarrassing? Like, okay, so listen, I am not a reporter. I'm a guy who gets to sit behind a mic and talk about sports. I have no formal training as a journalist, as a reporter, any of that.
Yeah, we don't do journalism here. We're editorial at best.
Yeah, but even I know you don't ask that question in that way unless you're looking for a response to get them pissed off.
Yep.
And they got pissed. They walked out of that fucking press conference. Micah Hyde even had a couple things to say. He's like, listen, we come here and answer you guys' fucking questions every goddamn week. Show a little respect. There's a mutual respect that we have to have for each other.
Mm-hmm.
That defense is pissed. I think they're going to come out and they're going to play pissed, and they're going to put together a pretty good game, and they can beat the Patriots. I did take the cover. I got them plus the points because I want to hedge my bet a little bit there on the points, but I think they actually come out and get a dub in this game.
Yeah, you're talking me into it a little bit because I really want to like the Bills. It's tough for me to go against the Patriots at this point in time in the season, even though I believe it did last week. I'm going to take New England to win, but I think I would take the Bills with the points there as well.
All right.
All righty. So back to our Thursday night game going on right now. We just started the second quarter, and it looks like we had a punt.
Yeah, the Titans cannot fucking do anything on offense right now.
Yep.
They're trying to end arounds, everything, and that 49ers defense is flying around the fucking field. They're going to have to throw it, which is kind of what I expected, which is why I took Ryan Tannehill over 210 yards. They're going to have to throw the ball in this game if they're going to want to stay in it. So, I mean, we already see Jimmy G over 100 yards passing. Kittle's at 21. Receiving, Debo is at 33. Receiving, 9 yards of rushing. This Titans offense needs to get something going. They got to get another stop here. I don't think Jimmy G is going to give them another gift on a pick.
I hope not. I mean, he really tried to force that pass to Kittle. The defensive back did not follow Kittle. Didn't bite on the play, and just was able to undercut from like a foot away that pass. So it was just kind of a bad decision by Jimmy on a play where he was expecting the cornerback to bite. Quick little swing pass here to the running back.
Guys out front blocking.
And that's exactly what you're expecting from that West Coast Shanahan offense.
Yeah. I love that fucking offense.
Yep.
The Browns kind of run something a little similar, but not quite to this fashion. I wish we would run this offense. I think fucking suit Baker fantastically. But, yeah, I mean, they look really goddamn good right now. The Titans are a little disjointed on offense and on defense at this point. Obviously they had a big play for the turnover, but they have done nothing to actually slow down this offense at all. They're marching right down the field, getting whatever the fuck they want.
Yep, absolutely. All right, going on to our next games, we've got a big snoozer here. Jets and Jaguars being played at home for the New York Jets. The line is currently, according to Caesars, even with an over-under 41. And, this is your coin flip game. I'm not betting on it whatsoever. If I had to pick a team, I'm picking the Jaguars just because I'm not picking the Jets. It's not that I'm picking the Jags. I'm not picking the Jets.
Okay.
We were hoping to see a little bit out of the Jags last week, losing their coach. Such an unfortunate circumstance.
Yeah, that was a real tragedy that Urban was let go.
Yep, but they didn't get the win at that game. They played it closer. They actually, I believe, came back in the game and made it close, but still wasn't enough. I'm hoping to see the Jags win this one, I guess, just because I decided to pick them. But that's about all I kind of had to say on this game. It's not doing it for me.
Yeah, so this is the first time I've done this all year. I'm taking the Jets.
Okay.
Now, this has absolutely nothing to do with Zach Wilson.
Just gonna throw that out there.
Yeah, Zach Wilson still stinks. But I expected a real emotional high, kind of a performance from the Jags that they're, Urban's gone. They're going to play better. They're going to show that, you know what, it was Urban that was holding us back, and that's why we have not been very good. And they came out and got their dicks kicked in by the Houston Texans, another team who I think is fucking terrible.
Yeah, they're not really. It feels like the Texans are not trying to field the team.
Yeah,
to get a high pick.
And they didn't come out and do anything. So I'm not picking the Jets. I'm not fucking picking the Jags, same as you're not picking the Jets. I think the Jets can come out and actually get a win. This is the first time I'm picking the Jets to win a fucking game. I have them on the money line. I'm not doing anything with the spread. I think it's 1 point.
That's the spread on Caesars right now is even. So that's what I'm saying. This is a pick 'em according to Caesars as of right now.
Yeah, and I just don't like the Jags. They needed to show me something after Urban was let go, and they fucking didn't. They just were completely flat. I'm going with the Jets. I know Robert Salah is not going to be there because he's out with COVID. But for some goddamn reason, I just feel like this is a game the Jets can get. Maybe Zach will only throw one interception in this game, and they can get a win.
Yep. All right. We have a big 4th and 1 here. Looks like the 49ers are going for it. They are right about the 30-yard line. They need to get to the 30-yard line to get the first. The
Play
kind of
action.
Big play in this drive leading up to this.
And there he is.
Debo.
Yep.
But the big story on this drive while you were talking was Garoppolo missed a wide open Kyle Juszczyk, overthrew him. He didn't have anyone within about 15 yards of him on a little wheel route. Overthrew Juszczyk. Juszczyk tried to make the most athletic play you'll ever see from a white fullback. Diving backwards, one hand was just able to get some fingers on it. But I mean, if that pass had been thrown in rhythm where it should be, that was a touchdown easily.
Color me shocked that Jimmy G overthrew a wide open receiver to score a touchdown. Yeah. I mean, that's Jimmy G.
But at least the drive is still going, and it gives Kittle a chance for a touchdown here, which is what I am looking for.
Yeah. I'm just still looking for some more yards out of Kittle. Debo's almost on his over for the receiving. That rushing has scared me a little bit because they have been so effective elsewhere with their running backs so far. It'll be interesting to see if this parlay can get going. I knew Tannehill was going to have to throw, but that fucking offense looks terrible right now.
Yep. All right. So next thing that we got going on, just threw up the hotline here if anyone wants to call in, aka Bobbert Goblin, because we're going to be talking about the non-Daniel Jones led Giants. The Mike Glennon Giants going against the Philadelphia Eagles, being played in PA. Right now, the line is Philly -10 with an over-under of 40.5. Eagles absolutely should win this game. I'm taking the Giants on the spread on this one because I feel like this is the type of game. This is like an Eagles trap game. They should win this game.
Yeah.
But I feel like the Giants are going to keep it competitive, oddly enough. So I'm going to take Giants with the points here.
So I am taking the Eagles -10. I got trapped last week thinking the Giants could keep a game competitive, and I took them to cover. They weren't even fucking close. The Eagles are much better than I thought. They are in the playoff race. I would say they're much more in it than the Falcons are.
Yeah, absolutely. At 7-7, that's definitely placing them in the playoff race for the NFC.
Yeah, so I am going to take the Eagles. I'm going to go -10 points. Goose actually kind of talked me into this a little bit today at work. I have
if Gardner Minshew is playing as the starter in this game, this isn't necessarily against Jalen Hurts, because Jalen Hurts is exciting.
Mm-hmm.
He's able to do some things, but if Gardner was playing, I think I'd pick the Eagles on this one. But I think I would even take the spread at that point. That's how much I like Gardner.
I love Gardner. We've talked about how much we love Gardner on the show, and that Eagles team is way better than I expected. Mike Glennon is still hanging around the league somehow. He's going to go out there and throw a couple ducks, throw a couple picks. The Eagles are going to be able to run all over this Giants defense.
They should.
So that's why I'm going. They should.
That's why I'm calling this. I feel like this is a trap game for the Eagles. So yeah, I'll take the Giants plus the points.
I'm going Eagles to cover the -10. I know it's a fuck ton of points to bet on the Eagles, but
so we got a nice 3rd and 26 here, thanks to some loss of yards and then a nice little penalty by Trent Williams there. Not only did he flinch, and it should have been a false start with his left foot in his stance there, but then he started to get beat by the defensive end and put his hands all up in his face.
And there, Debo is just getting things that he shouldn't fucking get. Gets 5 yards out of what should be -2.
Yeah, a little wide receiver screen pass to Debo, which is fairly typical for these West Coast offenses. On the long yardage like this, they're not going to go for it. They're just going to do something safe where maybe you give yourself a little chance to get some yards, but you're still going to go out there and try to push that field goal in.
Yeah, and he got so much more than he should have there. That puts him in field goal range.
He was stopped for a loss essentially and was able to make 6 yards out of it. So that just goes to show you what Debo can do.
Yeah, Debo is legit, man. I really like him. He is dynamic. The fact that you can line him up in the backfield, he is a better version of a Cordero Patterson.
And I think we're going to start seeing this a little bit more. This is one of those NFL trends, putting wide receivers in the backfield because they offer you a little something different. It's a little something more for the defense to think about. Justin Jefferson has started to line up in the backfield some. Obviously, Cordero is seen as a running back wide receiver hybrid. And I might have brought this up on the pod at one point in time, but him and Adrian Peterson, when they're on the Vikings together, same height, same weight within a couple pounds. Yeah. They don't look the same, different body composition.
Oh yeah, very different.
But same height, same weight. He's got some bulk to him, Cordell does. So that offers him that opportunity to be more of a full-time running back. And he was always kind of that gadget player anyways. Debo's smaller. He is more of a receiver-sized player, but he definitely has that gadget capability where it makes sense to run him out of the backfield. I think you're going to start to see a little bit more of this because it's working for some teams.
Yeah.
Etienne with the Jaguars, that makes sense.
Yes.
I mean, fuck what Urban was doing as far as saying that we wanted to play him only as a receiver in the preseason and whatnot.
Yeah, I don't understand why you do that.
But I mean, you got guys like Kamara, who is a big time receiving back, obviously a good running back, but he could be a receiver in the league.
Yeah.
You're going to see this kind of mold of player where you're going to have guys who are more classically seen as your smaller receivers potentially be part of that backfield rotation. This adds another option on offense. I mean, we saw it for a little bit with the Wildcat. We've seen that still happening in the league. Mobile quarterbacks are becoming more of a thing. And I think this is just one of those new trends that we're going to see towards the end of this year, but definitely in the next season. You're going to start seeing more receivers in the backfield.
I absolutely agree. And we get guys that come into the league who were receivers in college who make that transition to running back, like an Antonio Gibson. He was exclusively a running back in college, and now has kind of become that big time. And he's a big bodied running back. He's a big, strong fucking guy. He perfectly made that transition, and I think we'll see some of those bigger bodied receivers who can do some of that kind of stuff come into the backfield. I 100% agree. It'll be interesting to see what fantasy does if they start letting you line them up at multiple positions. If we start seeing a little bit more of a split,
I think you would need to see something like a flex designation or something like that, or relabeling. Because I mean, a flex player technically could be a tight end as well, and you don't want to be able to have a guy with a flex designation and be able to line up as a tight end. That would break leagues. But yeah, it will be interesting for fantasy. So moving on to our next game here, the 49ers did get that field goal. They're kicking off now to the Titans, taking the touchback. You've got the Buccaneers and Panthers being played in Charlotte. The line is Tampa Bay -10, over under 42.5. So the Panthers with Cam have not looked very good. No. And I think this is kind of the end of the year for them. They're 5-9. I don't think they have any opportunity to get back into the playoff picture at all. But the Buccaneers, this is the interesting one. So they have just been riddled with injuries. They signed Le'Veon Bell to kind of replace Leonard Fournette. Mm-hmm. Ronald Jones II looked good replacing Fournette, but their receiving options. So you've got Godwin out for the year with, I believe, a torn ACL, or was it the MCL?
ACL for Godwin.
You've got Evans out with that hammy injury. Yep. You have Antonio Brown coming back,
who has not been on the field since week 7?
It's been like 5 or 6 weeks at least. First for the injury and then for the suspension. But when he was playing, he was looking really good, and that was when he was part of that big receiving group. A lot of solid receivers. Last week, the Buccaneers were shut out. Tom Brady doesn't get shut out.
Ever.
And he was pissed. Obviously, he broke that tablet and everything, making a big show on the sideline. Brady does not like losing, and he definitely doesn't like getting shut out. But you see, as he's playing last week, he's hitting some of these receivers, your Tyler Johnsons and stuff like that, your Scotty Miller, who are okay receivers on a team as like a third guy.
Yep.
But they're not your premier receivers. Gronk didn't even look as good as he could have. But I mean, they're able to focus a little bit more on Gronk because he's one of their only options out there. Getting an Antonio Brown back is going to help out significantly. Being able to focus on Ronald Jones being the lead back there now is going to help them a little bit. I feel like not only are the Panthers not that great of a team and the Buccaneers should beat them regardless, but after last week, I mean, Arians had to have been in these guys' asses.
Yeah, that was a tough week of practice.
Tom had to have been in everyone's ass. So this is a chance for the Bucs to have a statement game. Now, it's kind of like beating up on the little kid just because you need to beat up on him. It will be interesting when they start facing big-time competition again with all these injuries. This should be a win for the Bucs. The line -10. It's a little too thick for me. I could absolutely see them doing that. They should do that, be able to win by 10 or more. But I'm just going to go with the Buccaneers money line.
I am taking the Bucs, and I am taking the -10 because I think they will come out after being shut out and stomp an absolute shithole in this Panthers team. Tom was pissed. They're getting Antonio Brown back. Ronald Jones is a very capable back. He was, I wouldn't say it was a timeshare, but he was getting about 30% of the snaps in that offense with Leonard Fournette. This is a guy that started out the year getting a 50-50 split until Leonard Fournette kind of took that from him. So he's very capable. I don't think
Gio Bernard was taken away a little bit in the beginning of the year, before he got injured. If Gio Bernard was there, it would be I still feel like it would be like a 60-40 split between the two of them.
Yeah.
They wouldn't be going
Gio can do a lot of things in the fucking pass game. I think the Le'Veon Bell signing is just an insurance policy.
Yeah.
But I like Scotty Miller. Scotty Miller is very fucking fast.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't know if you remember a few years ago, Dion was calling the 40 at the combine, And he's like, that boy is fast.
Yeah.
When he Scotty Miller's a fucking white dude. You don't get a ton of white dudes that are fast, and Scotty Miller's fucking fast.
There was talks about him being like a new Welker for, Tom and stuff out there. I like Scotty Miller a lot. I do. I like Tyler Johnson a lot, a gopher.
Mm-hmm.
I like him a lot. But I don't like them as the 2 lead receivers on the team.
No,
so
with
getting
Antonio
AB
Brown
back, it makes a lot more sense. AB can be that one for you. You've got a one option in Gronk at tight end.
Yeah.
So you've got 2 solid receiving options, and then your other guys are number 2, number 3 type receivers in the league. Yes, it sucks to not have Evans. It sucks to not have Godwin. They should, with the pieces that they have, still be able to be a competent offense, but out and butt fuck the Panthers.
long time.
Oh,
There we go. We're back. I don't
There you
know
go.
what the hell just happened with the video there, guys. Sorry about that.
might have even still been going.
I don't know. Maybe the interwebs. I don't know. Well, the video shouldn't have got out.
I don't know.
All right. Well, hey, we're back.
It
We are
did
still
show
live.
a little Wi-Fi symbol up at the top.
Yeah,
That was abnormal, and now it's gone.
Yeah. So, fucking internet. I hate Cox. Cox can suck my cocks. But yeah, I think the Buccaneers come out and stomp a shithole in them. I still don't know what they're going to look like on offense for the Panthers. We think Cam's starting, right? And Cam should be the guy.
Cam should be the guy.
But Cam has looked fucking terrible. So that leads me to believe that they're not going to be very good. Not going to score many points. And the Buccaneers, who I guarantee just went through a fucking shitty week of practice, are going to go out there and want to make a statement.
Yeah. Now, pulling up the Buccaneers schedule for the rest of the year, it's actually kind of interesting. So they should have a cakewalk going forward. So they've got the Panthers this week, the Jets the next week, and then the Panthers again. So
so they're going to go into the playoffs just fine and get some guys back. They shouldn't
if
be
the Bucs
too
are
worried
not
about
13-4 at the end of the season, I will be very surprised. So we're actually not going to be able to really see how they perform against a playoff team until the playoffs with all these injuries.
By that time, I think we'll see Mike Evans back in the lineup. Obviously, Godwin done for the year with the ACL. But yeah, it'll be interesting. One thing I did want to bring up, that Le'Veon Bell, obviously that's just a little bit of insurance policy. Le'Veon was trying to get his own insurance policy, trying to fucking get paid, calling out Jake Paul. Listen, Le'Veon, I understand that you maybe you've been training in boxing, but we've seen athletes get in the ring with Jake Paul and it didn't fucking go well. We've seen the UFC guys get in there, it didn't go well. Don't get me wrong, I don't blame Le'Veon. Hey, if you can secure a fucking bag, secure your bag. But he was looking for a paycheck because Le'Veon did not look like he was getting picked up anywhere. Then we get a late season injury. Le'Veon gets picked up. Probably be practice squad. I don't know if he'll even be activated for most of these games. So,
yep. One thing that I forgot to bring up when we were talking about Cincinnati and the Ravens. The Ravens today were down to 13 players on defense due to COVID issues. They are being hit by the pandy hard. Their defensive coordinator, Don Martindale, said, I didn't know. If you look at our roster beginning of the season to right now, I don't know if we're playing Squid Games or what, because they just got guys going down left and right. If they're not able to get healthy on defense, that's just going to make it even more difficult for them.
Yeah.
Makes me feel a little bit more secure. In that
I don't
Cincy
feel
pick.
good about the 3.5 at that point.
Yeah.
But I feel good about Cincinnati getting the win there.
We're midweek here. So there's time for that to kind of get fixed and turned around. But 13 defensive players on the 53-man roster, it's going to be a lot of practice squatters playing if they don't get healthy.
Yeah, and I can tell you from experience, you guys saw on Monday night, when you have to play basically your entire practice squad, it doesn't go great for your team. So,
hey, but you guys almost won that game.
Yeah, almost.
Fucking
story of my life as a Browns fan.
True. Next game, Chargers and Texans being played in Houston. And line is Chargers -10. I'm not touching that because the Chargers are a good team, but they just have not been playing like they should. I think this game will end up being closer than 10, but I am taking the Chargers to win this one. And yes, we almost had another Jimmy G interception there.
I don't know where Jimmy was throwing that fucking ball, but it looked like he was throwing it to the goddamn linebacker. Linebacker just couldn't secure it. Holy hell. Yep.
Yeah.
Let's just
3 defenders around Debo. He's trying to force feed him there.
Forcing the ball. Jesus Christ. All right.
That linebacker did not pull with use check, which it seems like what they were hoping was going to happen. Yeah. Bad choice there by Jimmy G, but that's what you get with the Jimmy G, unfortunately.
Yep. So back to this Chargers-Texans game. I think the Chargers are going to cover the -10. The Texans aren't great. Now, they did come out get a good win against another dog shit team in the Jags last week. The Chargers, I think, are starting to get a little bit better. And I still think that offense has more in them that we're not seeing. And I think this could be a get-right game against the Texans.
I would like to see that. Now, thing of note, Austin Eckler on the COVID list.
Right.
Right now, he's being listed as out, but from the way that they're testing him and whatnot, from what the media can kind of gather, it sounds like he's probably vaccinated. Jimmy G just goes down there. It sounds like he's vaccinated, which means he's fallen under these new rules where he still could play. They haven't said whether or not they think he'll be able to play by this weekend. I'm really hoping that Eckler will be able to play because he's my lead back on my fantasy team. So it would be a big hit to me if he was out. But they have competent backs, Justin Jackson and whatnot, playing behind Eckler if he's needed. Eckler was hurt. Jimmy fumbled that ball.
Was it clear recovery? Timeout by the Titans.
I think they're going to take time to take another look at this.
Yeah, that's probably what's going on.
Because the defense did come away with the ball after that, but they were signaling that Jimmy G was down. This will be interesting because if Jimmy G gives up another turnover,
nope, tucks it away there. Knee's not down, ball's loose. That is a fumble and let's see.
48 had his hand on it.
Not a clear recovery.
Yeah. Kittle got the ball back for him. So if anything, that'll just kind of change up the placement of where the ball is on this. But if they end up doing a review.
Either way, sure. I mean, it's a good timeout. Save some more time. Try to get this fucking Titans offense moving down the field a little bit.
We got 3:14 left in the first half here. Texans and Chargers is what we were talking about, right? Yeah, not a good punt at all. Didn't even get back to the 50.
So we were on Chargers, Texans. I had Chargers -10. I think this is a get-right game for the Texans.
What I was getting at was Eckler was injured a week or two ago.
Right, and then had the COVID.
And so when Eckler was injured, he didn't play very much in that game. You could definitely see that he was on some sort of a pace count. He still was able, at least for fantasy for me, able to put up 18 points. Still got a touchdown, lower yardage, but he still was a part of the offense. But you could definitely see them working in those backup running backs, and they were still able to be efficient and win that game. So if he's unable to play due to COVID, I still see the Chargers winning this game. But I don't see them blowing out the Texans like they should. I feel like that's not been their MO this year, even though they've got tons of offensive firepower on that team. But again, Eckler, I'm hoping that he's good to go by Sunday because I need that fantasy win.
You need that fantasy win.
I need it.
All right, where are we on to now?
We are going to our afternoon games. We've got the Bears and Seahawks being played in Seattle. Line is Seahawks -6.5. And I'm taking the Bears with the points on this one.
I'm also taking the Bears with the points plus the 6.5. The Seahawks aren't very good. I don't understand how this line is so big. The Seahawks have not. I mean, I guess they were in a close-ish game with the Rams. Bears had a close-ish game with the Packers. I just don't trust the Seahawks. I'm taking the Bears with the points. So
yep, same for me. It's I do not trust the Seahawks. I don't trust their defense, particularly their rush defense. I think that Montgomery will be able to look decent against them. Yeah, Bears. Bears with points.
I don't have a ton of things to talk about on that one. I got Bears plus the points.
Yeah. Next, we got the Steelers and the Chiefs being played in Kansas City. The line is Kansas City minus 8.5. This is your number one Chiefs team right now. They are turning it around. They are looking better. That is a big spread. So I'm not taking it. I'm not touching it for the Steelers. I don't think the Steelers are that great, despite having a 7-6-1 record. Chiefs money line on this one for me.
So I got the Chiefs minus 7.5. So I took it. Now the Chiefs, you guys have heard us say perpetually they don't cover. Well, they've been covering. The defense has gotten much better. Big Ben is not the Big Ben of old. You can see that he looks like he's wearing down. They are a over 500 team right now. They are not a terrible team, but the Chiefs are really, really coming on. And I think the Steelers have too many other issues going on inside that organization outside of just Ben and some of the other things. They got fucking issues in that wide receiver room with being a bunch of children, not understanding situations in the game. And the Chiefs are very much professionals through and through. Andy Reid is a consummate professional.
Now, one thing to note with the Chiefs, Tyreek Hill, COVID.
I don't think it's gonna matter, man. They have so many guys that can do shit on that.
And offense. I believe Kelsey as well.
If Kelsey's out now, that makes me worry.
Now, I think that there's still potential for them both to play. They could pass protocol by the game time, but I believe it was Mahomes came out today and said that if Kelsey and Hill are both down due to COVID, that he thinks that Josh Gordon and let's see,
Brian Pringle.
He said Mahomes is confident in Josh Gordon if both Hill and Kelsey are out due to COVID. So I'm not that confident.
I'm not either. Trust me, I fucking know Josh Gordon.
Yeah. It makes a big difference for me if those two are out. I still like the Chiefs better than the Steelers, but that levels the playing field significantly. I feel like one of those two guys, if not both of them, will be back by Sunday. So I'm still taking the Chiefs. I'm not taking the spread on this one, though. I'm just taking the Chiefs outright.
All right. So I got Chiefs, and I got them at minus 7.5. So I feel good about that.
All righty. Next, we have the Broncos and the Raiders. This will be a Drew Lock-led Broncos team due to the concussion to Teddy. The line right now, according to Caesars, is even.
Yep.
Pick 'em.
Yeah,
this is a big rivalry game.
It is a big rivalry game, and with Drew Lock starting, that instantly pushed me on to the Raiders to win this game. Drew Lock's not the guy. Now, Teddy at times looks like the guy, at times looks absolutely terrible. The Broncos are, once again, not a bad team. If they can find a way to run the ball really effectively with a couple backs that they got there, and Melvin Gordon, and I forget the rookie's name out of North Carolina. Cannot remember his name.
Yeah, I can't think of his name, but he's expected to come on.
Yeah, they could keep this game pretty close. I don't think they can win, especially with Drew Lock. Drew Lock is a lock to throw a pick one pick a game. Yeah. Like it's almost guaranteed. And the Raiders, they win an ugly one against the Browns. The Browns, I think, are better than the Broncos, and they were able to beat us. So I got Raiders, and I went money line there. But there was a 1 point spread on this earlier in the day when I made the bet, and now it's to a pick 'em. Yeah,
and for what it's worth, Darren Waller again did not practice today. He's closer to coming back, and that makes a big difference for the Raiders. Whether or not he's playing, because between him and Renfro, those are their two main receiving options. We saw Renfro disappear
in that Browns game.
Browns game. When Waller's back out there, it opens up the both of them a little bit more, makes a difference. If he didn't participate again today, I'm not so sure that he's going to be playing this weekend.
Man, I thought there were talks that he was getting close. There was a chance that he could have played in that Browns game because it got pushed back.
Yeah.
really starting to worry me that if he's still not practicing, maybe that he had a setback, which would be terrible for Waller.
Yeah, absolutely. Because this line's even, I'm going to go with the Broncos. Even though it's an away game for him, this is a tough one in general. I don't really have a good reason why. I'm just going to go ahead and pick the Broncos to win this one.
All right, going with the Broncos.
Then Sunday night, we have the Washington football team versus the Cowboys. This will be Heineke's return game.
Yeah.
But the line is Dallas minus 10.5.
I don't understand how the line's so big now.
That is a very large line. Big run broken off there by
Deontay Foreman. Oh, what happened? Maybe.
There's a flag on the play. Long run by the Titans. That gets them down close to the goal line, if not a touchdown. But, he's looking bummed. It looks like
that got thrown about the 8. Oh, that's what they're calling the offensive face mask. You can see him turn the head.
Yeah,
you got to let go there.
That's a face mask.
Yeah.
Well, that's not going to be a Titans score. Back to the Washington and Dallas game. So this is a rivalry game. The Cowboys put it on Washington last time. Dak needs to get better. He needs to start playing better. I think this is his opportunity to do so. Again, we're talking fantasy football for me here. I got CeeDee Lamb. I got Dak both playing. I'm hoping for big games from them. So I would love to see the Cowboys put it to Washington. 10.5 is a large spread. It's tough for me to take that. I'm just going to take Dallas on the money line on this one. Though 10.5 is absolutely possible. I could see this being a 14-point game.
See, I see it the other way. I think Heineke coming back really gives this team a boost. I got Washington football team plus 10. The Cowboys have not been great recently, and I don't know when they're going to get right. I mean, is Dak going to come out? I know you're hoping for it for fantasy, but he just really has not been the same since he tweaked that ankle. And I think Heineke gives his team a chance to at least keep it close.
Ooh.
And so I'm going Washington football team plus 10. When I saw that line, I was like, man, if Heineke's playing, I'm definitely going Washington football team there.
All right. Yeah. Well, Heineke is expected to be playing in this one. We just saw a deep pass to Brown by the Titans, and it was very well defended there by the Niners. Ball knocked away. I'm not going to say that's rust or anything on Brown. That was just a pretty good defensive play.
It's a good defensive play.
All righty. Next Monday night game, Dolphins and Saints.
Okay.
Might be a little bit of a snoozer again.
Yeah, so the Saints came out and got a big win against the Buccaneers.
Yep.
Played really good on defense. They won because their defense.
But now we got quarterback issues on top of quarterback issues.
Yeah, we have
quarterback issues.
Even more quarterback issues going on for the Saints. Trevor Siemian is on the COVID list. Looks like Ian Book is going to be starting that game for the Saints. Rookie out of Notre Dame. And I don't know a goddamn thing about Ian Book.
We got some comments.
Let's go ahead. Let's get the
text messages.
Let's get these comments before we start breaking this one down.
So we got Bobbert Goblin. I needed this COVID news earlier. I picked the Ravens in a parlay. You should have waited for the show, dumb bitch. Next we've got Torres here. Just logged in and prepping food all day. Question: Colts or our Cards? The Colts are not the Cards.
The Colts are not the Cards. The Colts are going to be better than the Cards this weekend. We both are on the Colts.
We both are on the Colts on this game, Torres. And yes, we understand that you're sorry if we already answered this, but that's fine. We're happy to
absolutely. We will go back and answer any comments you guys throw in there. It may be a little late, but hey, listen, we're here because we love it, and we also love the fan interaction. Love getting you guys, in and have the comments. Also, if you guys wanted to call, Lineman Lounge hotline is up right now, 520-338-9771. Hit us up, give us a call, and we can go ahead and talk about whatever games you guys want to get to. If we've already covered it, we can always turn back. We ain't got shit to do tonight. I already ate dinner. I've started drinking. The only thing we got to worry about tomorrow is we got to go play some golf.
Absolutely. Yeah, we got some golf in the morning. I'm so fucking excited because it feels like it's just been forever since I played, even though it's only been like 2 weeks technically.
Yeah.
I fucking miss playing golf, man. Such a good stress reliever. And I'm feeling just physically ready to fucking hit some piss missiles, man.
Yeah. I'm going to hit some fucking banana hooks.
Yeah. The only thing that I was going to possibly do tonight is if I had a chance to run to the store because I plan on cooking myself some sous vide butter poached lobster tails for Christmas.
We have a call, and it is from Torres.
Oh, here we go.
All right. Torres, you are on with the Lineman Lounge. How you doing, my guy?
What's going on, brother? So last time I called Lineman Lounge, I made you do something, and I have a tall boy IPA, so we need to shotgun this.
So you tell me I had a shotgun a beer with you. I got a lot of equipment in this room, but if I get producer Amber to go grab me a beer, I can probably take care of that for you. So give me a second. I am going to text her real quick. She might be watching.
She's probably one of the
There's
two
like
viewers.
Huge delay, by the way, but you're good. We're good.
But yeah, to your question, obviously
Niners,
you probably heard us talk about it, but Colts over the Cards.
Yeah, we have the Colts over the Cards.
Yeah, no, I got that. I already saw that. Can we get the Niners? Because I need Tennessee to lose.
We both believe that the Niners are going to win. Now, this would be your time to do your mid-game betting. But look, the Niners look like the better team right now versus Tennessee, except for they're shooting themselves in the foot. If they can take care of those issues.
Lemon Lounge. Say hi to Lemon Lounge, my wife. Hello.
Hello. Hello, Mrs. Torres. Thank you for allowing him to call in. And as soon as our producer comes in here with a beer, I will go ahead and do that shotgun.
All right, sounds good.
All right, man. So any other questions before hopefully we get this beer in here?
How far do you see the Colts if they continue this run, first pass when needed, to go into the playoffs?
I don't see them as being a Super Bowl team necessarily, but AFC Championship game is definitely a possibility. I think that's kind of their top end right now, barring injuries or COVID rearing its head.
For me, I definitely have them getting out of the first round.
Thank you.
I don't need that many beers. Jesus. No, just I'm doing one shotgun. Give me one of those Miller Lights. I got 6 beers. Producer Amber's trying to get me housed.
2 Miller Lights.
I got 6.7 alcohol. I think you should shotgun 2 of those beers.
I don't know about all that. So I got them getting out of the first.
Should help you with one.
Evo apparently need to help me with one.
All right. I ain't shotgunning. I'll sip on a Yingling though.
Okay, be careful because those things tend to overflow for some reason, like it's doing right now.
Oh, it's coming.
Yeah, I got them getting out. I got them getting out of the first round for
Right.
sure. I don't know about past the first round. There's a lot of really good fucking teams in the AFC, so I have them winning one game. I don't know how much more they can get past that unless Carson really steps his game up.
How many of those AFC standouts have a good run defense?
I would say the Chiefs are getting much better.
I wouldn't say they have a good run defense.
I wouldn't say they have a good one.
Let's pull up the playoff
So
picture
then
here for the
maybe more
AFC.
than just for one round?
Hold on, we're about to pull up the AFC playoff picture here.
Soon as this wants to load.
Yo, Rockstar, pull the beer.
What about Joe Rockstar?
I
He ain't
didn't see
coming.
it.
I told Joe Rockstar to pull the beer because I'm pretty sure he's watching too.
yeah,
There we go. So getting a little extra fan interaction going on.
There, interaction. Yep.
Yeah.
Man, this page is just loading slow as hell.
Yeah. Speaking of, I need to try to get that switcher from you so we can try to pipe these phone calls in just through the video rather than having to hold the phone up to the mic.
Yep. So we've got the Chiefs in the first first place right now. I don't really like their run defense, but they are looking better. I just think it's more the offense that's doing it. Patriots, decent run defense.
Yeah, Patriots.
Titans, an okay run defense. The Bengals, they're all right, but they can be worked on a little bit. And then you've got the Chargers and the Bills. So you actually have a lot of standout defenses other than the Chiefs out there right now. Some of them are going to be better against the run than others, but it's not going to be some sort of a cakewalk for the Colts to just run over everybody. That being said, Jonathan Taylor doesn't seem to matter who he's playing. You've got the Colts as one of the best offensive lines in the game and one of the best runners in the game right now. They can still make their money on the ground against any of these teams.
I'm pretty sure that we beat most of those teams with the run game.
I'm not sure. You guys haven't played the Bills. The Bills would be a worry for me
Yeah,
if
we
I'm
have.
you guys.
We beat the Bills.
Okay, all right. I do not remember that game.
We beat the Bills. I remember it really well because I called out Sven on it. I was texting him all night.
All right.
Let's see. Take a look here at the Colts. We had the Seahawks and the Colts. Seahawks won that game. Block.
That was prior to running Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah, that was very early in the year.
Rams barely pulled one out against you, 27-24.
Been losing horribly since then.
Titans 25-16. So Titans won that one.
That was bad decisions. That was not run game.
That's also Derrick Henry in the game. Derrick Henry was playing in that game.
I'm hearing a lot of excuses.
He was.
Titans beat him a second time there, 34-31 in October on Halloween. That was an overtime game. And then Colts beat the Bills 41-15.
Okay, so you guys smacked the shit out of the Bills then.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I got you winning one game for sure. Maybe two. I do not see you guys getting to the Super Bowl though. Which is farther than I have the Browns going this year.
Look, once you get into the
and it'll be off the air.
Once you get into the postseason, everything's a new season. It doesn't matter what you did earlier in the year. It's a new season for everybody. So anything's possible.
This is true. I'll take that.
Alrighty, man.
But
you got
as of now, when they run the ball, no team that the Colts have played has had an answer to the run game.
Well, we will see going forward.
November 28th versus the Bucks. That was your most recent kind of hiccup there, and that's a team.
Not run the ball. I remember watching that and punching the air. We did not run the ball. We threw the ball.
I'm surprised you didn't knife the air.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Torres likes to use his little blades.
He does like to knife people.
Yeah.
All right. So Torres, you ready? You ready to do the shotgun, my guy?
Let's do this. I'll hold the phone close to my beer so you can hear that I'm drinking.
All right, hang on. I gotta fucking crack this thing open. I don't have any keys, dude.
You can utilize these here.
The Lamborghinis.
Yep.
All right. Make sure I don't fucking spray this all over the place with all this equipment in here.
Holy shit! I got sprayed.
Which I did anyways.
We're doing it live, baby.
Doing it live.
All right. That should be big enough. At least that's what she said.
Not fair.
All right, Torres, you ready?
So you can tell them that I'm actually checking this. All right, ready? All right, let's do it. Count it down.
3, 2, 1, go.
Done.
And I beat you.
Did I win?
Oh, hell no. You had no chance.
Oh, yeah, I lost.
You got to thicken you up a little bit.
So, did I chug that beer? You sure did. Okay, there we go.
There we go. I like the confirmation there from the wife.
Very nice.
All right. We're out of here, man. We're going to get back to the show.
Hey.
What's up?
All right. Yeah, no, we're good. We're good.
All right. Merry Christmas, man, to you and your family.
Yeah, Merry Christmas,
Happy
buddy.
holidays.
Merry Christmas, guys. Merry Christmas to the Lineman Lounge.
Yep.
All right. Thanks, buddy.
Happy Kwanzaa to the Torres family.
All right.
All right.
All right. There was Torres. A nice little conversation. getting a little wild in there.
All right, Facebook user Cardinals 3724. Torres doesn't know anything about football. I feel like we might get a call back in.
We might get a call. I want to know who Facebook user is.
I'm sure we can figure that out.
Okay, so I did figure out who Facebook user was last time who said the Browns are living a lie.
Yeah.
That was our friend Wes. A big Steelers fan. So of course he was, taking shots when he could. I had to go back and look through the comments. Oh God, I'm sorry.
Cardinals 3724. Torres doesn't know anything about football. That's Michael Aaron, Spicy Mike.
Spicy Mike, and actually producer Amber just narked him out who it was in the comments as well.
Yep. All right. Rockstar said that at halftime the Niners are starting to cool down and also totally should have tried to score before the half, but Kyle bitched out. Kyle Shanahan, that's who he's talking about there. Hey,
look, he took that deep shot there at the end. I don't know.
You are up 10-0, and the Titans have not looked good at all on offense. They tried to get a little bit of something going there in the second quarter, but still not looking that great. We needed to see the Niners not shooting themselves in the foot, and really it's kind of Garoppolo doing it. He's making some bad decisions there.
Really bad. He should have had 2 picks. He did throw the one. The one in the middle of the field was a fucking gift to the linebacker.
One pick happened. 2 picks should have happened.
And there was the fumble.
He had the fumble, and he missed that wide open use check shot. Some poor decisions from Garoppolo. Can do a little better. If they clean that up, they should be able to coast the rest of this game, put up a decent amount of points.
Yeah, and I didn't think that the Colts beat the Cardinals. I'm pretty sure that that's not the way that went down. But it's okay. Listen, I understand having blind faith in your team. I'm a fucking Browns fan. That's what we do. We just believe until it hurts, and then you drink.
But let's see here. I'm pulling up this Colts Cardinals thing now because I just fucking closed out of that just to make sure that
we're not putting out the wrong stuff.
We're going correct here.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, fucking COVID.
I am not seeing them. They haven't played yet.
I have not played yet. Oh, so that's Aaron's calling his shot. Yeah. Spicy Mike calling his shot.
Yeah.
I don't like that either. I don't like the way that's going to work out. Oh yeah, what the hell are we talking about? That's the game that's this weekend. What the fuck are we doing?
We're drinking.
We are drinking a little bit.
I'd like to say that's why.
That's why that we completely forgot we talked about that game at the start of the show.
I'm only a half a beer in, and I'm not that much of a lightweight. I don't know, Mike. Cardinals 37-24. That'd be a decent score for you guys, but you're gonna have to figure your shit out from the last couple weeks.
Yeah, I don't fucking think that's gonna happen at all. I got the fucking Colts running all over the Cardinals.
Yeah.
All right. Well, fuck. We have one more game.
We were talking about the Monday night game here. Dolphins and Saints. Trevor Siemian, COVID list. Taysom Hill not going to be playing.
Nope.
Ian Book,
guy was not a high draft pick at Notre Dame. I think he had another year of eligibility in college. I think he probably should have stayed. And I do not like the Saints' chances to move the ball. They have not moved the ball, but that's not what they've had to do to win.
Yeah.
They've played defense.
The Dolphins with Tua have been playing pretty well. They're 7-7 right now. Right now the line is Miami -1.5 according to Caesars with an over-under of 37.5. That's a real low one.
That's an ugly fucking game.
Yeah. So I'm taking the Dolphins on this one. I'm actually taking the Dolphins -1.5. I see them being able to cover that. So it's Dolphins for me. The Saints, I just kind of think this is their time to tap out. Like they're 7-7 as well.
They're being scrappy.
They are within that playoff hunt, but it's death by 1,000 cuts on that offense. Yeah. They're just losing their key people, and not that Taysom Hill's, best thing since sliced bread, but he's better than Ian Book. He's better than Trevor Siemian if Siemian were to have been able to play. And it's Kamara's your offense, and that's kind of it right now. I'm not seeing it, man.
I'm not seeing it either.
They did play a great game against the Bucs. Like they
Dennis
Allen got together a good game plan to beat Tom Brady. but it was also a Bucs team reeling from tons of injuries during that game that are going to affect them for the rest of the season. So it's the Dolphins for me, man, and I'm not holding out much hope for the Saints the rest of the year.
Yeah, I'm not either. Saints can't score. The Saints played really good defense. I think the Dolphins will score. I don't think that the Saints will go back-to-back weeks of pitching a shutout. And if they do, this game may end in a fucking 0-0 tie because the Saints are not going to score any goddamn points. I love Alvin Kamara as a fantasy player. I wouldn't necessarily trade him for quite a few running backs in the league. He is right at number 5 for me. We talked about it early in the year. He might even be fringe below 5 now with Jonathan Taylor hopping in there. But I'm going to go Dolphins. And when I did this, I did it at -2.5. And I still feel good about that with Ian Book playing quarterback. I don't think they'll be able to move the ball very much.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. So while halftime is going on with our game right now, we'll go jump back at a couple other games that we got going on that we overlooked. Not really overlooked. We just skipped over.
Yeah, we like to do our games last.
Yeah, we got a Christmas game, Browns and Packers being played in Green Bay. The line is Green Bay -7.5 over under of 45.5. What do you think, Mike?
Well, if I wasn't enough of a Grinch already, this game is not going to make me feel better about Christmas. The Browns are still banged up. We just lost our starting center, NFLPA president, J.C. Treader, to the COVID list. It's just COVID is still affecting the Browns. Injuries are affecting the Browns. And the Packers are the best team in football. They have shown it on offense. They have shown it on defense. I was worried that their defense was going to really let them down, and Aaron was going to have to carry this team. That defense has stepped up. Now, Aaron Jones is, I believe, questionable for this game, may not play. But what the hell is their backup's name? I just forgot his fucking name.
Collins?
Nope.
Or for the Packers?
For the Packers. A.J. Dillon. A.J. Dillon is a big back. He's a fucking bruiser, and he has been very effective when he's had his opportunities. I don't know if the Browns can stop this offense. And if we can't stop this offense, we're in deep shit because the Browns can't fucking score enough points. We have not been scoring points. Now, this last game, obviously, we were going to struggle on offense because we had basically nobody fucking there. We had linemen shuffled all over the fucking the front 5. We were depending on tight ends to be our number 1 weapons. Nick Chubb had a decent game, but we just didn't run it enough.
Except for on first down.
Except for on every goddamn 1st and 10 when they knew it was coming. I don't like our chances in this game at all. I have
we got Nick Peterson calling the Colts in that game as well.
Nick Peterson is the most pessimistic Cardinals fan I've ever met in my life. But I also agree with him this week. The Colts are going to win this game. So I'm going
Browns plus the points.
I'm going Packers on the money line. If the Browns can turn this into an ugly game, like we've seen them do, I like us covering the spread because it's 7.5. I think we can lose this game by a touchdown and cover if we turn this into an ugly game.
You know what? I take severe offense to you calling the Packers the best team in football right now. I just take
who was better?
Everybody. Everybody's fucking better. The Cardinals are better. The Colts are better. Everybody's better. Bills are better.
The Jets?
No. The Jets aren't really a team. They're an NFL AA team. The Packers, it was a damn close game, and they should have lost last week to the Ravens. Yeah. And I think the Ravens are average above average, and that was without Lamar Jackson. We talked about Huntley coming in and doing good things for him.
Really nice things.
But still, you feel better if Lamar is playing healthy at least. I think that the Browns beat the Ravens. I think the Browns can beat the Packers. I absolutely do. Even in Green Bay, I think the Packers are good. They're not as good as you're saying. They're not the best team in the league, even at home. I think the Browns, I'm taking the Browns with the points just to hedge my bets, but I think that they have an opportunity to win this game. I would love to see them run all over the Packers.
I would love to see that too.
At Green Bay.
But this is a game that Aaron doesn't lose. This is a fucking Christmas game. December, shit weather.
Christmas is about miracles.
Hey, do you believe in miracles? No, I'm a Browns fan. No, I don't. I would love to see one, but I'm going to have to see something a lot more than I've seen over the last few weeks. Even when we go out and we put up 24 points in the first half against the Ravens, we are beating the hell out of them.
Stefanski knows about miracles.
Yeah, the Minneapolis miracle.
Yeah.
I just don't fucking see it. We were up 24-0 at one point on the Bengals, or 24-7 maybe, and we let them back in the game. We cannot, if Aaron Rodgers has the ball late with an opportunity to win, we are going to lose. That we just do not finish games well at all. Now, we may start out pretty decent, but we just do not finish. What we did last year to finish games was we handed the ball to fucking Nick Chubb, and he ran for damn near 10 yards a carry. That's not happening because now teams know Nick's getting the ball, especially on fucking 1st and 10. So I don't like our chances. I do have us covering within 7 points or 7 points and less because spread 7.5 is what I got. I just don't like our chances to win.
I believe 7.5 is still the spread. Yep. 7.5 is still the spread. I'm taking the Browns plus the points, and I think that they do have an outside chance to win this game.
All right.
And then last game to talk about is Sunday morning game, Vikings versus the Rams, being played in Minneapolis. Surprisingly, this line is closer than I was expecting, -3.5 for the Rams with an over-under of 49. I could see this line moving if Dalvin Cook is out, because Dalvin Cook is on the COVID list.
Fucking COVID again.
Yeah.
Tired of talking about it, man.
Now,
Jesus
look,
Christ.
Vikings right now are the last seed in the NFC playoff picture. If we win out, we are staying in the playoffs.
Yeah,
if we win out, there isn't any situation where other teams could win or lose and potentially push other teams into the playoff picture and us out. If we were to win out, we're in the playoffs. I don't see that happening. I don't see us winning out. We play the Rams, the Packers, and the Bears again. I could see us going 1-2 out of this. But the Rams, for whatever reason, haven't been really blowing teams out as much as they should. We have a chance to beat the Rams here. I'm taking the Vikings plus the points in this game. Dalvin being out sucks. My competition in my fantasy playoff game does have Dalvin Cook. I looked at their roster; they already pulled him out of their starting lineup for right now. So that helps me out a little bit. We've got competent backups in Madison and Kenny Nwangu. I'm fine with Dalvin not playing if that's the situation. But I'm going to take the Vikings plus the points. We're going to continue to feed Jefferson. It's the biggest thing for me in this game isn't even so much the Rams offense. I mean, Cooper Kupp is going to do Cooper Kupp things.
Yeah.
Our defensive backs aren't phenomenal, so he's going to have a good day. If you have Cooper Kupp on your fantasy team, it's going to be a good week for you probably. And I believe the guy I'm playing has Cooper Kupp, which sucks. But it's going to be how that defensive front for the Rams plays against the Vikings offensive line. They have a chance to really work us over there. So I'm picking the Vikings to lose, but I am picking us to cover.
I had you guys covering until Dalvin went out.
Yeah.
I still think that this game can be relatively close, but I had to go Rams -3.5 here because Dalvin going down. Dalvin looked so fucking efficient. It's so goddamn good in the last game. Now, if Dalvin is clear to the COVID protocols, then I'm stuck with my bet, but I like your chances a lot more. And I think you guys do have an outside chance to win with Dalvin playing, but without Dalvin, I think it really hinders your offense. Madison is not going to get 8 guys into the box. He's not going to suck up linebackers like a Dalvin Cook does. And that makes things really hard on Justin Jefferson going down the field. or coming across the middle,
But
where he's been really good at eating across the middle recently.
Yep, and Thielen should be back in this one, I believe. So that's going to help open things up a little bit more. If they're focusing heavily on Jefferson, that's going to give Thielen a lot of opportunities for targets. You also have Jefferson coming out saying that this is a statement game for him because he's going to be going against Ramsey.
Yep.
So probably the best cornerback that he's going to be going against. So it'll be interesting to see how he does against Ramsey for sure.
It will absolutely be interesting to see how it goes against Ramsey. And one of the guys on the other team, guy that is, kind of a big deal to Jettas is OBJ. OBJ is kind of like a mentor to a lot of these young LSU receivers. Pretty sure OBJ maybe slipped Jettas a couple hundies after winning that national title. So I think he's going to want to go out there and show out. I'm not sure that it's going to work without Dalvin. I don't dislike Madison. He's a very good number 2 back. He's probably one of the better number 2 backs in the league. With him out, I struggle taking you guys this week because the Rams are a very, very good team. They're very talented. We have not seen them put all the talent together. If they do, and there's no Dalvin, I can't go with you guys. So,
yeah, and I don't blame you on it. That's I feel okay about taking the Vikings plus the points in this one, but the outright win, it's tough for me to say that we're going to beat the Rams just because they are a really damn good team. But that covers all of our games this week.
Yeah, that wraps up all of the games. Did we want to continue the watch along? I know there's still quite a bit of game left. We're about 2 hours in. I'm down to watch the game. I don't know how many people are going to want to stick around. If we get some people that want to come in and hang out and stick around, guys, the Lineman Lounge hotline is still open. We got some YouTube viewers. We got a Facebook viewer. But we can at least hang out for a little bit, see if this fucking Titans offense can get going a bit. And then if we're not getting anything, no interaction, we'll call it. Are you good with that?
Yeah, absolutely. If this game starts to get away from the Titans,
which it very well could,
then we probably are going to know what's going to end up happening there.
This is ridiculous. The fucking Titans are averaging 0.9 yards on first down.
Yeah.
There's another fucking negative yard gain or fucking loss of yards on first down. Half a yard loss. Listen, Deontay Foreman is not a bad back, but this vanilla ass offense, Tannehill has thrown 19 passes, completed 14. If you say a quarterback's 14 to 19, how many yards do you expect them to have? 150, 160?
Yeah.
Somewhere around that.
Something around there.
Somewhere between 8 and 12 yards per completion, right? He's at goddamn 94 yards. Like, they're just not doing anything. They're not stressing a defense. They're still not. They've got to push the ball down the field a little bit because this is fucking ridiculous. So we also have SD Evo. I wonder who that is. With a very short dick and balls.
Yep. Thunder thimbling it up. Look, I fucking need Kittle to get more involved on this fucking offense. He's been involved for them, but 4.1 points right now on fantasy for me just ain't going to cut it.
Yeah, so I need some more things out of Kittle as well. Once again, we're going with a screen on 3rd and 8. I guess you kick the field goal here and you're within a touchdown, but we're not putting any stress on the fucking defense right now at all.
No.
They are flying everywhere. You have got to do something. Oh, God damn it. I need Kittle to have 50 yards at least and a 49ers win for a super boost. And I also have a same game parlay, which I don't really like right now because I need Tannehill over 210 and he's at 96 because they are not pushing the ball down the field fucking at all.
Yeah. I mean, maybe this is a good thing. The Titans get some points out there. It puts a little bit more pressure on the Niners to drive their offense up and get some more pass plays going for our boy Kittle.
Yeah, I need Kittle. Well, I need Kittle over 50, which gets me Kittle over 40. And man, that's just. I have been struggling with these same game parlays. I had a couple that were hitting pretty good for a while. Actually, if you guys are on FanDuel, you might have got your little quote over the year, how your year of review went. I guess mine was okay. I hit a couple of pretty decent bets. I believe the farthest odds I hit was plus 3,700 and some change. I can't get it to open now. There it goes. Plus 37.67 was my biggest underdog win. I got 14 same game parlays or parlay wins. And my biggest single win on FanDuel was $399.20. So if you guys are on FanDuel, you guys can check out your year in review, see how you're doing. Apparently, I like to bet on the Cowboys. I'm not sure if I'm betting for or against, but apparently the Cowboys are where I'm placing a lot of my money.
And that part of what can play into that is Vegas is going to go with a team that people like to bet on certain things, bet for or against. A lot of people love the Cowboys. A lot of people hate the Cowboys because they're fans. So that might make their odds a little more interesting, especially to the average person. And that could be pulling you in just because you're like, hey, I like the way these odds are shaping out because
because a lot of those lines move. So if you guys are unaware, like as things go on throughout the week with teams, things will change on the line, right? So if we get a guy with COVID, the line will flip, right? If a quarterback's out or a key player offense run something that can flip a line, that could change a line, that can move a line. Something else that will move a line is if a lot of fucking people start betting a specific bet. Because Vegas is like, okay, so all these motherfuckers are on this bet. Now, if a lot of the money is on a bet, but a lot of the bets are on the bet, they may not move it, right? So there's not a lot of people betting this bet, but a lot of the money is there. They may not move it. But if there's a lot of people who are starting to push and move that line where you get, 50% of the money, but 80% of the bets are on this particular bet, Vegas can be like, listen, we may have not set the greatest line. Let's push this back into our fucking favor. That happens all the time. Because if you go on Netflix, you can watch a couple badass documentaries about some really shady things that happened in sports where guys were fixing games. And once lots of money or lots of people start betting certain things, the lines fucking move, and then you have to bet multiple different places with lots of money on different lines, and you're just hoping that it all hits.
Yep. All right. Niners back out on offense. Hopefully we can see.
They're going to run. That's what they've. Wow. Straight drop back. And there's Garoppolo. Jimmy G doing Jimmy G things.
Floats a duck up. Intercepted by the safety.
Okay, so I love Debo, but I don't love him as much as fucking Jimmy G loves him, and he is forcing the ball to him right now. That is a bad behind overthrow in the middle of the goddamn field.
It didn't look like a sure pass. Like it was.
No, he's trying to run a deep over, and it's just, even if.
Wobbly pass.
Not great.
It wasn't. Debo really didn't even have a chance at that. Just straight into Malik Hooker's hands. Is that his name, Malik Hooker?
Yeah, that's Malik. Because there's another hooker who plays safety as well.
Oh, Jimmy G just said the F word.
Yeah.
I wonder why.
Well, that's because he fucking sucked on that play.
All right. Now you're going to start hearing the chants for no pants Trey Lance.
Well, that might actually happen in this game. We talked
about
Joe
Rockstar, what's up? I know that you have some thoughts on Trey Lance. You got some thoughts on Jimmy G and how all that should play out. I've heard you talking about it at work. do you think that if the game starts to continue to get away here from Jimmy G, if he keeps having these turnovers and these boneheaded plays, should we see Trey Lance get mixed in a little bit more?
Ooh.
Let us know.
Ooh.
Hotline's up.
Also, we got a picture from Peterson. We are on the TV at the house.
Oh, nice.
So we're and there's
we'll
a
keep
real
it a little bit more PG.
and there's a real festive spirit there. We got the puppy in the picture. So thank you, Nick, for tuning in. We appreciate that. Well, there's a run.
Yep. Titans are down within the 5-yard line, ready to score. Jeremy McNichols with a nice little run there.
And McNichols has looked pretty effective. Deontay Foreman has been getting the bulk of the carries, but that's a fucking great block up front. Tannehill doesn't like it. Killing it, going to a second play. More than likely, this is going to be a run. Nope. And we're throwing a fade.
And
Okay, so how do you feel about the fade in the end zone?
It works sometimes.
I hate the fucking play. I think it's so stupid.
If you have a big-bodied receiver with a definite height mismatch, I like the fade where it's up high for the guy to go up and get it. That pass there, that was terrible. At shoulder blade level of the cornerback. You have a big guy in Brown that can go up and get the ball. You have to go throw him a jump ball. I don't have a problem with the fade. It works best in those height.
And there's Foreman with a touchdown.
Yep. Works best when you have that height disadvantage.
Well, and I mean, AJ's not a small guy, but he's not exactly a big guy either. He's 6 foot even? I mean, he's thick, but he ain't.
He's got a couple inches at least on that cornerback there. Let's see here. AJ Brown, 6 foot, 225.
You said 6'5"?
6 foot, 225.
I was like, gee, there's no fucking way he's 6'5".
Yep.
6 foot, 205. Yeah. So he's thick, but 6 foot. Yeah. I mean, corners nowadays somewhere in that 5'10". I mean, if you get a big corner, you can get them up to 6'4", but those guys are not super common. I just got word that my wife is wrapping all of the Christmas presents. That's fantastic. Thank you, producer Amber.
Hey.
Including her presents from me. However, they are in boxes, so she doesn't know what she's getting.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh, I mean, I try.
I still got some wrapping to do today or tomorrow.
I am fucking terrible about wrapping. I am awful at it. Like all those memes you see about guys who wrap terrible presents but take care of other shit. That is me to the fucking T. Cannot wrap a goddamn present.
I think the cool way to go about it would, and it's a more of a manly thing to do, would just to be go out and plasti dip the thing. Just fucking spray her down with a can of plasti dip and watch them peel it off of the box.
There we go.
That'd be great. It's a very unique Christmas.
That would be a very unique Christmas. Yeah. But I feel like plasti dip is probably not cheap.
It's like $10 a can, $9 a can.
Nah, that's not bad. I mean,
I don't
know. I have no idea how much fucking wrapping paper costs because I don't buy it. My wife does.
Depends on if you buy it after the holidays.
Yeah.
If you wait till after Christmas, you get great deals.
Yeah. I'm sure that happens at fucking the store where all the money is spent. What is that place called? Hobby Lobby. Oh, yeah.
I was going to go with Target.
Well, also Target. If we could just stop Target and Hobby Lobby,
maybe you should just invest in Target.
I don't think the product, people buying the product at Target is what makes the stock price go up. I feel like there would have to just be more Targets.
Maybe. For
there to actually be a stock change there. Or maybe Target takes over Walmart, which will never happen.
No. More likely the other way around.
Yeah, agreed. The Waltons were ridiculous business people and started, the worst store in human existence right now. I fucking hate Walmart so much, man. I can't stand going in there.
It is a fucking zoo right now.
Sure. So it's a zoo right now, obviously because it's Christmas, but all the time. when I go into a store, my fucking main objective is get the thing I came here to get and get the fuck out without really having to interact with anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't like people. And people at Walmart are weird as fuck.
Yeah. And so do you think Walmart should be closed on Christmas, right? They're going to send all 2 of their cashiers home?
Yeah. I mean, they should keep it open. And if you want something, you just go in there and fucking check yourself out like you normally do.
Yeah. So what are the plans for you and the family on Christmas?
So typically we'll get up, we will do cool little fun breakfast where everybody kind of helps out, makes breakfast. I don't know what we're doing this year. Typically we'll do some sort of like fancy French toast, or a couple of years ago I did like these weird egg things, not a quiche, because quiche is baked. It was almost like an omelet, but not, because there was like a croissant roll or some shit. I don't remember what the fuck it was, but it was delicious. So we always kind of do something like that. Amber is not a breakfast person at all. I am huge breakfast, like fuck lunch.
Yeah,
I don't give
breakfast
shit.
food all the time.
Yeah, so if I can get a breakfast at like 9:30, 10 o'clock, that will take me to dinner. Because I don't give 2 shits about lunch. Is a throwaway meal in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I eat leftovers. Because nobody else in my house fucking eats leftovers. We will save the food because obviously we made it. We don't want to get rid of it.
Mm-hmm.
Leftovers are only eaten by me, unless it's something that goes in the freezer, like when I make spaghetti sauce. I'm very in depth with my spaghetti sauce. I grew up my whole life. When we did Italian food, that was an event. Homemade spaghetti sauce. I do the fucking lasagna. We do manicotti. All that shit. That shit gets saved. But like a random Tuesday night's fucking dinner goes into a Tupperware, and if there's any chicken in it whatsoever, Amber won't eat it. Fucking girls won't eat it. Graydon, I don't think eats it. He'd rather have a goddamn peanut butter and jelly, which I don't blame him.
Yeah.
So now it sits in there. It's like, okay, well, I got to eat this fucking food.
You got to be the man of the house.
I mean, that is kind of my job.
God damn. Another little flaky.
Yeah, that was, I'm pretty sure, on Kittle on the false start there.
Well, I'm going to be doing a whole lot of nothing tomorrow, I think, just hanging out with the lady.
Yeah.
Or not tomorrow, on Christmas.
Tomorrow we got some shit to do.
Might be going to her mom's possibly, but the plan is, so she tells me yesterday that she only eats steak with steak sauce. And I was like, what? And she's like, unless it's
do not fucking bring her over here for steak night.
I was like, unless it's reverse seared. And I was like, well, reverse searing is fine, but that shouldn't make a difference. It's just in how well the steak is cooked, whether or not you think, like, if it's a fucking dry piece of leather, then I understand you need to sauce it up some. But I was like, it's not about whether it's reverse seared or not.
No.
She does like her steaks medium rare, which is a good thing in my book.
Right.
So
that, as most people with brains. My son, if I could just, he'll eat that shit blue rare.
Oh yeah.
Just fucking 1 minute, fucking.
On a good steak, I'm about it being blue.
Yeah.
But so the plan is I'm going to go out and try to find a couple nice 1.5 inch thick cut ribeyes. Going to try to do some, first time will have sous vide, but I do have a sous vide machine. I'm going to try to butter poach sous vide some lobster tail, have ourselves a nice little fancy fucking meal.
Very nice.
That's my hope, but I got to find time to get to the store and hopefully that they have that stuff in stock still. So that's after golf business.
So if I don't know where you normally shop, but Safeway was when I went in there yesterday to go pick up some shit after work. They were restocking fucking everything at like 4:30 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
So if you need to check out Safeway. I like ribeyes, but that is not my first choice of cut. I'm a New York strip guy.
Yeah. I take the ribeye over the New York. I like the fat distribution, a good marbleized.
See,
ribeye.
And I am not a big fat guy. Like, so now as an adult, if there's a piece of fat on my steak, cool. Don't care. As long as it's cooked.
Mm-hmm.
When I was a kid, Like I was that little asshole that went through and picked off every fucking piece of fat.
I feel like the ribeye has a better marbleization throughout the meat, not necessarily those big fat veins, but I also like to cook my steaks on the Traeger, smoke it. So I will do that real low heat for 40 minutes or so to get that good smoky flavor. And then I pull it off, crank the thing up to like 550, 600, however high I can get it to go.
Right.
And then I put it on there just for that flashier on the outside and get those fat juices just to kind of soak into the steak real nice. But I'm not about eating that big gristly piece on the outside necessarily.
No, well,
I just find that
I just cut that shit off. Whatever else is
the dogs are getting it from me.
Yes.
But I like that marbleization of a ribeye within it. Ooh, got an injured player. And going to
timeout. So,
I bought cinnamon rolls, monkey bread, and bacon. Maybe ? Law.
Okay, so I could definitely do some stuff with some cinnamon, monkey bread, bacon. I feel like I'd do some candied bacon, and with that, I feel like that would probably be pretty goddamn good. Producer Amber has marveled at my skills to look into our pantry, find a bunch of random shit, and turn it into a meal. I feel like my time in the Army is what taught me how to do that. Like, okay, I got a can of chicken. I got fucking noodles. I got soup. I got
all you need with a conglomeration like that, hot sauce.
Bind
it all together.
So don't get me wrong, hot sauce was great, but I mean the way you season it is definitely going to affect the flavor.
I'm trying to get Joe Rockstar to call in right now. I asked him about Trey Lance, said that he should call in and let us know. And he said Lance isn't the answer either. And I said, maybe you should call in and let us know why. He said, I'm busy yelling at the TV. And so I'm telling him, come yell at us.
Yeah, that's all right, Joe. You can come yell at us for a little bit. We decided to stick it out for a little while and do a little watch along. I do like this, though, that we kind of got our normal podcast kind of variety in and then also get a little bit of the watch along.
He's embarrassing himself in a public bar.
All right. Well, you can embarrass yourself in a public bar and on YouTube.
Yeah. I'm going to tell him, embarrass yourself on YouTube.
Question is, do we call him Joe Rockstar or do we actually call him by his name?
Yeah, Joe Rockstar.
I guess it don't matter what he says on the call.
Or how drunk he is.
Fuck you, Florida. Florida, I'm pretty sure, lost to UCF.
All right.
Something I was not expecting, considering the bets that I placed today on Caesars. I believe I just heard producer Amber say no, they didn't. So maybe I'm gonna pull it up right now and we'll see what happens. I'm in a football pool with no, they didn't. What was that?
My phone.
Oh, nice. A little record.
It actually had the Lineman Lounge open on the Facebook page. So
okay. So we get a little reverb there. Oh my God. Come on, Florida. You sons of bitches. And we can hear my
Debo almost made it there to the first. He's going to be about a yard short.
Was that a run or a pass?
That was an end around, I believe, or maybe it was a little pitch. It wasn't a pass. It was
all right. Sweet. I need some more rushing yards out of him. Holy fuck! No, they're not. They didn't lose yet, but they are getting their asses beat. They're 26-17 to UCF. Now UCF, pretty goddamn good team. We've seen them be really good in the past. Florida's definitely not covering the -7 though.
Nope.
So that bet's dead.
All right. Looks like San Fran's going for it on 4th and 1. We'll see if maybe they're looking at just trying to get him to jump and then going to bring the field goal kicker up.
I don't know, man. I think
penalty.
Never mind. So they're fucking. Most times when Shanahan is lining up for it, he's gonna go for it because they have so many fucking weapons.
They did show Gould running down, or Robbie Gould. Excuse me, not Gould. Robbie Gould running down the sideline with his helmet on, as if he was going to be prepared for it, which is always a good thing. I mean, the kicker should be there on any of those situations and ready for it. But, yeah.
Williams again with the flinch.
Dropping that ass. Yeah, I bet you Joe Rockstar is
pretty fucking
choice
livid right
words.
now. Yeah,
Choice
pretty
words.
fucking livid. That was delicious. So I had this Svedka, not a sponsor, cherry limeade vodka. Did they go for it still?
Oh yeah, they went for it. And Garoppolo threw a pass that the receiver had to dive for. Didn't need to throw a pass in that spot for him to dive for. He would have been short of the line to gain.
So yeah, all right. Well, Jimmy G sucks ass. But yeah, cherry limeade vodka to go with my Route 44 Sonic cherry limeade. Also not a sponsor, but very well could be.
That does sound delicious.
Yeah, it was so fucking good. I was like, well, last time we were in here, I drank a shitload of whiskey. Entirely too much whiskey. This is the remainder of the makers from last time. I'm pretty sure this is what the bottle looked like that was left.
With.
Yeah, so we drank an entire bottle of makers the last time. Yeah, and I was fucking drunk.
Yeah, we were a little toasty.
Tuesday was not a great day.
I'm asking Joe Rockstar again. Sure you don't want to say anything? Sure you don't want Lance in there? Because damn if Jimmy G ain't kind of fucking spoiling this for them.
Yeah, this is not a great look right now. And so we see some.
Oh, here's your
Aaron
your butt
Rodgers.
Buddy. Fuck him.
If the 49ers would have drafted me, it would have been the answer. That is not something Aaron Rodgers is going to say. I don't know
who is Aaron Rodgers would say. Oh, I wish I was drafted by the 49ers. So I could go have hardcore butt sex with all the hobos out there, and then we could all poop on the sidewalk together. I'm Aaron Rodgers.
All right. Well, that was not.
That is exactly what he sounds like.
Exactly I don't think that's what he sounds like at all. I got to figure out who Aaron Rodgers is. I hope this is somebody trolling us. I'm almost certain that it is somebody.
Yeah, it's probably.
But who is it? This seems like a Goose move.
The sentence structure, though, is better than how Goose would write.
That is true.
I'm going to go with a Mike Aarons.
This could be a Mike Aarons. This absolutely could be a Mike Aarons. I wish I could get to this person's profile. It will not allow me to get there on the YouTube comment section. So I got Robert Goslin. Unless Goose is switching his profiles. I've never seen Mike Aarons comment on the YouTube comment section. Feel like this might be a little bit of Mike Aarons.
Could be. It could be a numerous amount of people. Everyone knows that I'm to put it lightly.
You're not over there sending us comments on as Aaron Rodgers, are you?
No, absolutely not. Though I should be making a burner account for someone else and just allow Aaron Rodgers and Mike McCarthy to get into it in the fucking comment section. That'd be great.
That would be hilarious.
But no, I wouldn't touch Aaron Rodgers or his name with a 10-foot pole because of all the syphilis. So Titans have the ball back. They're already going to be around midfield there. This was just a bad pass by Jimmy.
Well, it's not even that bad. It was a terrible pass, but he had Kittle. Oh, no, I guess he didn't.
The other guys were relatively covered. That was his correct read.
That is the right read.
If he was going to make it, it's that receiver.
Even there, though, but the corner is coming off the route.
It's Ayuk, but you can't be.
Nah, it's a fucking terrible throw. God,
Ayuk
throw.
Started to sit on the route. I'm wondering if that is a little bit on Ayuk, but still.
Well, I mean, if you're playing the leverage there, right?
Bosa's right there for him. Jeez.
And Joe Rockstar is losing his fucking mind in that bar.
This might be. Oh well, Titans player looked upset, but I was going to say this could have been a penalty on Bosa because as he was going to tackle Tannehill, he got kind of taken down and went low on Tannehill.
I think they probably called the hold out there on the right tackle.
Probably on Bosa because Bosa got him beat.
Oh yeah, fucking God. Oh yeah, there it is, right there. So I've been trying to tell Graydon. So he likes playing offensive line, but I think in his heart of hearts, he wants to play defense. Keep telling him, man, just you got to learn how to use your goddamn hands. Your hands will win more than your speed or anything else will. Oh,
Tannehill go down.
Yep.
Bye-bye.
Maybe. All right. Well, I'm gonna go take a piss real quick because I drank 44 ounces of Sonic plus liquor.
I'm gonna have to at some point because I had this aftershock.
Yeah. How is that, by the way?
Real damn good. It's Kayla Hubbard was getting them, and she's like, "You got to try it." So I took a sip. I was like, "That's pretty damn good." It's heavy on the Red Bull, but it's a sweet tartan drink.
Okay.
It is just like a limeade type slushy.
Okay.
They have like fucking 30 different flavors of it there, all of them with different Red Bull combinations in them.
So I'm not a Red
crazy
Bull
laundry
guy.
list. I'm not either, particularly. Another flag on the play.
What the fuck is happening right now? What the fuck is happening right now?
Don't know who this is going to be on. But these things were delicious. And because I've gotten very little sleep over the past 48 hours, I took a little nap after work,
A little napski.
ran to the Dutch Bros and got me 2 of these. And so this is number 2.
Oh,
and I got these at 4 p.m., about 4:15, and got here just before 6. So you were seeing me on this one, number 2, and I was about halfway through it. So,
all right, I'm gonna go take a piss. That way you can come back. I'll come back. You go take a piss.
Oh, I don't got to piss yet. I'm ready to fucking rock.
Yeah. So you are jacked up right now.
I'm feeling great. All righty. So obviously a big pass play there if you're watching along with us on this Thursday night game to Brown. I didn't see where the flag was. Did you catch the flag?
I did not catch the flag.
All right. Saw the flag go, but apparently we got a call it.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
Hey, Joe Rockstar.
What's up?
So how are you feeling about this game right now?
Not good.
Not good. Man,
I wasn't
you guys should
feeling
be
good about it earlier.
you guys should be rolling over them. You guys looked great in the beginning, and from what Mike and I are seeing here, Jimmy G is just not making great throws. He's kind of blowing it for you.
Yeah, but you can't yank him out of the fucking game. For Lance,
I mean,
Lance can't play in this offense, man. It's not yet.
well, you don't know until you try, and it might be time to try again because, look, if on this drive, on this next upcoming drive for you guys, if Jimmy G is not looking good, I don't know if you got that other option there, it's going to become pretty tempting.
Yeah, I would think I just don't think Kyle would do it because Lance, he's not a timing guy. He doesn't have the timing yet.
Well,
He's going to run around and try to run every freaking time, and he's going to go 3 and out.
yeah, but Garoppolo ain't much of a passing guy right now because he's not hitting his open receivers. That wheel to use check earlier, that fourth down play to Ayuk.
Yeah, I just don't trust Lance yet. I don't trust Jimmy either, but I'd rather have Jimmy than Lance.
I mean, I don't trust Lance either, but if it's starting to get away from him, I'd rather just see if he can give a spark because you can always put Jimmy back in. But if Lance is able to go in for a drive and spark something,
like that.
well, yeah,
this isn't good. This isn't good at all, man.
The good news is that you are still it is still just a 10-10 game right now. But obviously you just
if we don't do something quick.
Absolutely.
All right, hey, Joe Rockstar.
Mike was taking a little.
I had to go take a piss. How are you feeling going into this fourth quarter? Your team is. I know I missed a little bit. I was in the bathroom.
They always get cold in the second half. That's why I was like worried as soon as halftime came and they didn't score those chances that they had. I knew it was screwed. If this team could just get out of their own way, nice sack. There we go.
Yeah, well, at least you got a little decent.
I think he's ahead of us. He just said nice sack.
Oh.
Yeah,
So,
I'm ahead of you guys.
Yeah, right. we're at 14:50 in the fourth right now.
Where are you at? Where's the game at for you?
I'm at rookies.
No. What time in the game is left?
Oh, I can't see it. I'm outside.
Okay. Well, I would imagine it. We'll see if there's a sack on this play because I think you guys might be
12:51. 12:50.
12:50. You guys are way ahead. So we're gonna go ahead and.
Oh no! Well, there's a first down.
12:51.
All right, I gotta go because my misery is just going to sound horrible on your show.
All right, buddy. Hey, well, thanks for calling. Or I heard that Evo called you. Thanks for joining us.
Well, that's your phone, buddy.
Oh, this is my
Yes,
phone.
keep it up. Keep up the good work.
Hey, thanks, brother. I appreciate it.
All right, later, man.
All right, talk to you later.
All right, bye.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Joe.
Merry Chrysler.
All right. Did we get another comment from? Nope. That's still the last Aaron Rodgers comment.
That's still the last fake Aaron Rodgers.
Yep, the last fake Aaron Rodgers. I swear to God, if that's the actual Aaron Rodgers.
Absolutely is not. So now we should be about
Well, I mean, he said he was at 12 something. I just fast forward to
12:51. We did see the sack. Unless
Yeah,
there's
so
going to be another sack here.
I think, well, Joe said he was outside, so I don't
Oof.
know. That was a push off.
Just a little bit.
I don't know if he was actually seeing it right. Joe said he was at Rookies drinking a little bit, so
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it can't be that. There's no way he's 2.5 minutes ahead of us, unless here at 12:51 ish he gets sacked. He doesn't. He throws a
Nope,
touchdown.
that is
So
a touchdown.
I think Joe was misreading the time. Titans go up. 21,
AJ Brown.
17-10 looks like.
Maybe I should have played AJ Brown on my fantasy team. Like I said, I just had him sitting on my IR slot. He's actually still in the IR slot currently.
Well,
because I would have had to maneuver some people around here, but he's having himself a pretty decent game on his first game back.
yeah, he's got a touchdown. He caught that long pass down the fucking sidelines, which I assume counted. The flag was okay.
It did. Right now, he's got 28.7 points, 10
Oof.
receptions, 127 yards, and a touchdown.
AJ Brown is a fucking stud, man. He is so good at the football. Ryan Tannehill just somehow out of nowhere comes into 168 yards passing. Did not fucking see that happening. Jimmy G needs to do something here. And instead of throwing it to the opposing team.
Yeah, so Joe did not feel good about Lance going in there. He said that he's not a rhythm passer that he needs to be right now, and that he doesn't think Kyle Shanahan would pull Jimmy G to put Lance out there. And I was like, not even for like a series, just to see if you can loosen something up. I told him, I was like, I feel like you could probably get away with letting Jimmy go back out for this drive, but if he doesn't convert on this drive or he gives up a turnover, I think it's time to at least give Lance a series.
There's some packages that they could put together for Trey because he's athletic. And they have not used those in weeks that I've seen.
I mean, a little short backwards pass to Lance and letting him bomb it, or giving him the option of running.
Well, yeah, you give him a fucking run pass, a fucking RPO game. You give him a little read option. You give him a whole bunch of shit, man. Like that's his game, and I think that could be worked in small amounts at this point to keep a defense guessing, because the Titans are starting to kind of figure out a little bit what's happening on this 49ers offense. And what's happening is the ball is being forced to Debo.
Yep.
I mean, Kittle's still at 21 yards.
Yeah, it's killing me right now seeing how many points AJ has versus Kittle. If Kittle isn't able to get worked into this game, I don't see how the Niners are going to keep competitive.
Yeah. I do not think they come back in this game if they don't start working Kittle into the game plan a little bit. I mean, I don't see them taking away Kittle. What they're trying to do is take away Debo, but the ball is being forced to him. So.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, getting a little tired. Little tired. It's
like I said, yeah,
it's been a long fucking week.
I've had very few hours of sleep over the past 48 hours, so it's like I'm getting these little cat naps in when I can, here and there. Plenty of energy drinks and coffee, which is nice because I love that. But boy, am I going to sleep my tits off tonight. And hopefully, last time that because we're playing up at the San Pedro.
We are playing at San Pedro, which is a fucking tough course. I have to steal some teas from Amber before I go up there. I have no teas left in my bag. I literally used every single last tea.
I got a couple of the plastic ones if you need them.
Okay.
I've got a box in my bag if you don't want to stop before heading up there.
I'm just going to steal them from Amber. She's got, we each bought a bag of, I think, 500 or something like that. And she has not been golfing as much as probably she would like. because she's also a big fan of the golf.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, 10:21 tea time. Last time we had the first tea time of the day, and it was also on a day where I did very little sleeping, and I slept in, and so I don't remember what our last tea time was that I almost missed out on, but it was like a 7 a.m. tea time, and I woke up at like 6:45, and it's a 30-minute drive there. So yeah, I was a little bit late, but still made it happen. And this one, 10:20, I should be able to get a little bit of extra sleep in.
Have we figured out? Are we carpooling tomorrow or not?
We haven't figured it out yet.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'm down the carpool. I know Goose has to drop some stuff off up in Benson.
Oh, that doesn't work out either. Can't be dropping balls.
Gotta catch it. We can carpool. We can go by ourselves. What time are you trying to leave to go up there?
Haven't even given it a thought yet.
Yeah, me neither. We gotta be there at 10:20. It's a 35-minute drive,
give or take. Yeah,
probably leave here by 9:15, no later. I can get there, get checked in, get all our fucking bags ready, and possibly get a drink.
Might be looking at a little bit of a inclement weather, so supposed to be windy, possibly some rain towards the end of our round. So
go Debo, go Debo, go Debo.
Yep, Debo back there gets a little pitch. Runs for about 11 yards.
I need 2 more yards out of Debo rushing.
You should get that before the end of the night.
I think so, but I mean, I also need some yards out of Kittle and Deontay Foreman.
I would like to look. I called 2 touchdowns and fucking over 100 yards for Kittle, so I'm looking like a real dipshit right now.
Yeah, well, there's Debo getting more receiving yards, which he's well over what I expected.
Mm-hmm.
His over on the fucking night was 46.5. He's at 69.
Yeah, favorite number.
Me too.
Oh boy, they all bit on whoever was the receiver down in the bottom right there. Come on.
Look, okay. He's got to look somewhere besides Debo. That's his first read every single time.
Mm-hmm.
Debo's not the only guy on the fucking field. Feed George the goddamn ball, please.
And Garoppolo almost has 200 yards now.
He's at 195.
It's not looking good for my fantasy game. I was really hoping for a nice game from Kittle. And with this much time left in the fourth, I'm just not seeing him being able to put up those big numbers. Unless this game were to somehow to go to overtime or something like that. A little bit more options.
Well, I felt pretty good about this for a minute. And then I realized that Deontay Foreman did not get any of those yards on that long run because of the face mask. Even with the penalty. And there goes Jimmy G.
Gotta have better awareness than that. Look,
gonna make it about 2nd and 29.
That internal clock needed to have just been fucking going off way before that. Gotta get rid of the ball.
I mean, is this a coverage sack? No.
Yeah, I mean, you had Kittle low that he could have potentially gotten something out of. He might have been just looking too deep down the field because they just had that holding penalty pushing them back quite a ways. And Debo's sitting there on the sidelines. So
I mean, Kittle, somebody.
Neither of them. Mm-mm. Jennings.
Man.
Well, it's going to be a long third down, 3rd and 21, and I don't see them pushing the ball down the field because that's not how this Shanahan West Coast offense works. Normally, they're going to take a little short dump screen. They're going to take the easy yardage just to get a little bit more. I fucking hate it because right now you are in great position if you need a punt. If you gain more yards, you're actually making the punt
tougher.
A little bit tougher, yep. So
now, what I do like here is if you are going to run a screen, I think you run a tight end screen. I do not see George Kittle on the field, though.
Well, that's Debo.
All right, so this is a big decision here. Do you still punt it? You are in not a bad spot.
One score, yeah. You
4th and 9.
And you still got about 10 minutes left on the clock. Yeah. If it was Madden, I'd be going for it, but it ain't Madden.
Debo up over 110 yards total in this game between rushing and passing. Rushing and receiving. All right, can they pin him? Oh, yeah, they can. Wow, great punt coverage there. That is excellent coverage. That's fucking great skill by the gunner to get down there and catch that. That is not a fucking easy task. Running down as the gunner, spinning around, and then catching the punt.
I'm trying to find that ball, yeah.
I never acted as a gunner. I was always I was a personal protector or something like that. And that's much easier. I block a guy, find ball, hit guy with ball.
Yep.
Gunners, God, it's got to be tough. I mean, I feel like you have to kind of know if you're going to do a directional punt, if it's coming your way, when to collapse inside, if you're not collapsing. Because if you leave that lane as a gunner, you're giving up a fuck ton of yards.
That was my one touchdown in high school football on the defense because I was playing defensive end. So not a ton of options to score touchdowns, but on a punt, came off the edge. We had them pinned back in the end zone already, so the punter wasn't very deep. I was able to come off the edge, block the punt on a dive, and was able to get up immediately and just looked up and the ball fell in my hands in the end zone. So nice little touchdown.
Nice little gift there.
Yeah, it was pretty neat. Felt pretty good about that.
So I did not score very many touchdowns in high school. I don't think I only got like 3. 2 rushing and then 1 kick return. That kick return is the one that I'll always remember though. Because I tied the state record and set my high school's record, 99 yards. I was pretty fucking pumped about that. I had set my goals. When I got there, I was like, listen, I want to be all state. I want my name on the record board and I want to win a state championship. Luckily, I was able to accomplish all of those things, even though not quite. I was only second team all state. Then I went on to college. Did not play a lot. Had 1 game. Did score in that game. But I also had a fumble, which really fucking irks me still to this day, even though, did not get to finish that out. As a freshman, we were doing, it was almost like a JV game. There's a team in the NAI who was, starting up a new program. So they had a bunch of fucking random kids.
Yeah.
They're like, all right, we'll toss our fucking freshmen out there.
Yeah.
And yeah, I had a great game with the exception of that fumble. And then partying and lack of attendance in class led me to lose that scholarship. And then I joined the Army a couple of years later after attending community college.
College can be a fun time.
It is. I had too much fun.
As an 18-year-old or 17-year-old going into your first year of college, it's a lot of opportunity for you to become an adult when most people aren't really ready for it yet. Myself included, I fucking had a great time. Wasted a lot of money, didn't go to very much class, and did a lot of drinking. Yeah.
I was very much in the same boat. Now, as an older man, I've attempted to go back to school. It has not gone great because, my grades are so bad. I have to actually take classes to get into college. Then that's my own fault. But as an 18-year-old, I was not prepared to I didn't know how to learn. I thank the Army for teaching me that a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Well,
I need to see some Deontay Foreman fucking handoffs here.
It's just a complete momentum shift.
Yeah, this game is completely flipped 180 from what we saw in the first half. Tennessee's actually starting to stretch the field a little bit when they have the opportunity.
Mm-hmm. You're seeing Brown just be more involved. He caught another nice pass there earlier. That's pouring more salt in the wound for me, leaving him on my bench. Good drive blocking by the Titans. It just
God. Penetration up the middle dominates all.
Yep.
Edge rushers are fantastic, but if you can get pressure up the middle, that ruins a play immediately. It doesn't matter if it's a run or a pass. Especially even in the wide zone offense, you're going to get, if you get pressure up the middle, that takes away that cutback, which is what the zone offense is predicated on, is that cutback, that quarterback having vision.
Ferksker with another first down. Yep, Niners defense is not locking this down right now.
I mean, everybody's following A.J. Brown. You got multiple people backing up, trying to defend against A.J. and take the easy things underneath. These are decisions that, we talked about Tannehill not making earlier, and starting to kind of open up and make some good decisions here. That is not Deontay Foreman in the backfield.
Yep, that's McNichols.
Still not a great run, though.
I mean, for what the Titans want and need right now, 3 yards, time off the clock.
At this point, I'm looking for some overtime just so I can try to hit this fucking parlay. Because I need Debo to have 2 more rushing yards. I need Deontay to have fucking 23 more rushing, and Kittle to get involved in this game in some capacity.
Yeah. They must be doing, I mean, all the focus is on Debo, and it's got to be on Kittle as well. He's got to be getting doubled and stuff like that because, I mean, they're just not. Oh,
are they throwing it right here?
Sure are. And that
man.
So that was actually a tight spiral on a line there from A.J. Brown, but just a little bit low. Yeah. I mean, honestly, I'm kind of impressed with how well he passed that ball. That's normally not what you see from a wide receiver throwing the ball.
No, I still think he should have taken off. I thought he had a lane. Oh, no, he didn't. No. Almost a pick, though.
Yep. Hey, he's having fun being back, though, huh? Having himself a little night.
Good for AJ, man. I like AJ Brown. He's a guy that, works hard, loves the fucking game.
Brown and another receiver just collided down the field on a crosser. They both look like they're fine, though.
Got flag. I don't know if that's a hold.
Yeah, they're probably going to show Brown here down at the bottom. And boop.
Oh, that is not the way you want to pick route, guys. You don't pick your own guy.
Yep. And that's where Tannehill was looking. That broke down, and then the pocket collapses.
Yeah. 4th and 10, right? Not 3rd and 10. There we go. Thank you, NFL Network, for updating that. But Niners now with a chance to come back, tie this game up.
Yeah, less than 6 minutes left. We're at the 5:45 mark. They need to score on this drive.
Yeah, and they need a touchdown. The field goal doesn't do it.
No.
This is 4-down territory the entire way.
Absolutely.
Now, will that change the offensive play calling? Should. I mean, Shanahan is a smart fucking guy.
Oh, boy. They're going to get pinned. We'll look at this positively. Now they have 95 yards that Kittle could pick up, that Debo could run with. You got all that field.
I got all that field.
Why not use it? Oh, boy. Well, I tell you what, if they don't score on this drive, I'm fucking out. Yeah. I'm just getting more and more depressed about my fantasy game. We're seeing Kittle just have nothing. 2 receptions, 21 yards.
Yeah, and those receptions came very early in the game. There's not much after that.
Yeah. If he is a heavy contributor on this drive and gets a touchdown, then I'll feel fucking great. Get him 4-5 catches on this drive and a touchdown, I'll feel great. But I don't even care about the yardage.
I mean, I care about the yardage.
I would like the yardage, but Yeah.
I care about 19 more yards. But if he gets 4 or 5 catches, you better get fucking 19 yards. It's George Kittle we're talking about.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh.
Yep. In no situation other than if I had a crazy amount of injuries or something like that, would I have played Brown? But he's got 31.5 points right now.
AJ's blowing up.
It just feels bad with him sitting there on the bench.
I have not checked my fantasy stuff to see if anybody is playing AJ Brown. I really hope they didn't. So it's looking good in the cheap wise guys vampire league. Looking like I'm going to win that round. Looks like very much so I'm going to win the cheap seats challenge. So I don't know if you guys remember earlier at the start of the year, we were talking about doing fantasy leagues, and I got in some fantasy leagues with some other podcast guys. Right now, I believe I am in the championship in the Vampire League, and then second round of the normal league. So would love to go ahead and get a couple of
Oh, look at you there in the hunt.
Yeah, we're in the hunt. You know who?
Hunting.
The Ravens are in the hunt. The Steelers are in the hunt. Everybody in the AFC North is in the hunt right now. Fucking win last week would have been huge. We're number 4 seed if we get that win. One of the reasons I'm still actually kind of rooting for the Bengals is because we have another game against them.
Use check out wide. There's a nice little 15 yards, 16 yards. Not the white guy I want receiving the ball right now. God damn it.
Jimmy G not having the worst statistical game until you look at the interceptions.
Yeah, the interceptions and the turnovers.
I mean, 21 of 28 for 230 yards is a pretty good game. But
you switch around like about 3 of his passes, and he's having an all right game. You know, pretty nice little game.
But those mistakes that he made were egregious.
And I did not like Kittle's route there. It was just a little like short 5-yard curl in the middle. He was just blanketed. And then obviously that little overthrow off to the side there. Not necessarily an overthrow. I mean, the guy wasn't very open. Wasn't much of an option. All right, Devo's Ed.
Yeah, so that's where the ball's going because that's the way the night's played out. Hey, do you want one of these Long Islands that have been sitting at the house since you guys came over?
Maybe tomorrow. If you're going to bring stuff tomorrow.
I'm going to drink one right now. I'm going to bring this for you tomorrow. I'm going to bring the other one for you tomorrow.
Yep, Debo.
And there's Debo. I mean, yeah, that's the game plan right now. Feed Debo the ball.
Oh, he lost it and recovered it.
That's a catch. And
Catch,
he is
football
down right
move,
there.
fumble, recovery, down there. All righty. I don't think Kittle's even out there. I'm about to lose my fucking mind.
Oh, well. Guys got a hold on to the goddamn ball. So I am in the championship of the Vampire League, second round of the playoffs. In the other league, trying to rep for the pod. So I assume that most people that run podcasts, they know their shit about sports a little bit at least.
At least passively.
And I feel like getting a win in those leagues will be very good for me. A little confidence boost. Kind of saying, you know what, I know maybe a little bit more.
Absolutely. If between you and I we can pull into 2 victories in fantasy leagues, it bodes well.
Well, I got a chance at a win this weekend. Is it championship league in that other league that we were in?
No. So this is the
semifinals. Yeah. So I got
so next week
one
is that
championship round. I got one semifinal round. You're in the semifinal round. I would love to bring in fucking 3 championships. I have another league that is, one of my buddies from Georgia, some of his family. I kind of expected to win that league. I started out goddamn terrible. And then I made, really smart waiver wire moves. And now I'm, the highest scoring team in the league. Got in 4th place. Looking to go ahead and make a massive comeback. And Debo.
Well, there's all the yards out there. Debo just got it down to the 5-yard line on a nice little crosser. He might be hurt. A little wind knocked out of him.
Well, I needed some rushing yards out of Debo, but I mean, the kid's a stud, absolute fucking stud, supreme athlete. I mean, he lines up at multiple positions, and he can do it all. Like he's a guy that's going to be talked about as, if he keeps this kind of pace, top 5 receiver in the league.
Yeah.
He might even be in that conversation right now. Now, I know he's one of the top 5 fantasy guys in the league. But
he did enough to make himself get into the Pro Bowl this year.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like he's down a little bit more. The way that he's breathing, I just assumed it was wind knocked out of him, but maybe he's a little bit more hurt because he's still down. Maybe it could be something as bad as a cracked rib or something like that.
No, we don't like to speculate on injuries. I know he's not shivering because it's cold. Joe Buck.
What a guy.
But yeah, it was. I hate injuries, especially to a guy this fucking talented. I mean, Debo has missed a game this year, right?
Yeah. He looks all right. He looks like he'll be all right.
However, Debo off the field, that makes me worried that we're going to see a forced pass to Kittle down here in the end zone. I don't like forcing passes in the end zone. I mean, we see Debo's stats on the screen now. First 8 games, blow it up as a receiver. Last 5 games, been very effective as a runner.
Significantly less as a receiver, but very effective as a runner. Especially when you understand that he is not a running back. He's not a full-time rusher. That's the difference. He's 200-something yards as a runner, as a part-time runner, where you're getting, 5 a game, maybe, something like that. Hand off up the middle.
Okay.
Down to the 2 or 3 yard line.
Nah, I'm thinking play action, looking at Kittle or a use check down here. But
did I see correctly? Is Wes Welker on the sidelines for the 49ers?
I did not see. But I mean, I don't know why you wouldn't bring it.
I just saw Wes Welker down there with Debo, right there.
That is definitely Wes. That is 100% Wes Welker on the sideline.
I was unaware that Wes Welker was a part of the staff.
Yeah, I had no idea either. That's a good get, though.
He is the wide receivers coach for the 49ers.
That's a good get, especially for a guy like Debo.
Come on, Kittle. And he's blocking. And that's not
that's IU.
That's not Kittle. Punted that ball in the fucking
yeah, that's a good kick.
into the stands. He ain't getting that one back.
So really important fucking extra point coming.
Let's go, Harbaugh. Fucking go for 2.
No, don't do it. Just trust your goddamn kicker. You got enough time, even if he misses, to get the ball back.
I would much rather prefer them go for the field goal here, so that would be some overtime.
But yeah, I would love some fucking overtime football because I need some more yards. I don't know where the fucking Pittsburgh accent just came from. Oh, almost blocked, and he slides it in.
Yep.
Whew.
Good as gold.
All right, so good football game brewing here.
I mean, this is generally what you want to see down at the end is if you're a fan of one of these teams, you don't like it. You just want to see your team
you want to
win.
see your team fucking beat
but
some
as
ass.
a football fan in general, these games that come down to the end of the game are always exciting.
Yeah, we got it. Nobody got depth.
I'm just calling for it. They need to fire Shanahan. Kittle should have gotten that touchdown.
Well, if they're going to fire Shanahan, I know an offensive coordinator spot that will probably be open pretty soon.
He could probably be our head coach. I'll take him.
Yeah, he absolutely would not go back to being a coordinator.
No.
As he shouldn't. I mean, he's earned what he's gotten in this league so far. Big numbers there. And so I wanted to bring up one of the things that when they were talking about Debo's stats and, you know, what he's done at the beginning of the season and now, leads the league in yards per catch and yards per carry. Now, granted, he's not going to make the threshold for yards per carry to actually count and matter.
Mm-hmm.
He's averaging 6.9 per carry, 17.8 receiving yards per catch. Those are fucking huge numbers.
Yep.
If you get a guy who can sling it all over the yard and you get Debo back there, man, that is a dangerous weapon for a really good fucking quarterback. Jimmy G's just not that guy.
6-yard by Swain.
Yeah. I don't have anything on Swain.
The-
Now, I do need 6 more passing yards from Tannehill.
The way that the Titans have been moving the ball here with, you know, we're at the 2-minute warning now. Look, I don't see a way that they're not going to be able to get this down there in field goal position. The defense for the 49ers has not been stopping.
Yeah, defense has really got to step up here because they have not played great in the second half. All right, so anybody still watching, thank you guys very much. We wanted to do the normal pod, and then we kind of had the watch along going, tossed some stuff in there as we were going along. This episode will be available on audio as well. 'Cause there's not nearly as much dead time. There's not
a little bit more
5
at the end, but
hours
that's because
worth.
we're at the end of this game, and there's always dead time at the end of the games because there's 2-minute warning, timeouts,
Yeah.
blah blah blah. They've already gone through all of the talking points for the game, so it's gonna be a little bit more dead time towards the end. But
We have another comment.
yeah, still here, Hose
Yeah.
from
Torres. Torres, we appreciate you, brother. This is anybody who doesn't know Torres is the guy who did the guitar on our intro song. Incredibly talented, good-looking gentleman. Rides mountain bikes. Could possibly stab you at any time, though.
Yeah, he's a little emotional with that knife.
Listen, he's threatened to cut my hair so many times.
Cut your hair?
Oh,
He
yeah.
just always tells me that I need a trip and that he'll shank me. I'm open to all of it.
All right.
I'm into self-pugilism.
That's a wild maneuver, but I mean, good for you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not so much of a masochist myself, but
Oh man, we got to get sponsored by some of these pharmaceuticals.
well, shit, I mean, any sponsor right now. I was actually taking a look the other day at some of the sponsors they had available on the Podcorn. Also, not a sponsor, but does their stuff with Alitu, who is our host for this podcast. So shout out Alitu. I've really liked their service so far. It makes it easy to put all the stuff on Spotify, Google Podcast, Apple Podcast, and all those big ones.
Torres says he's married and that we can't afford him.
Well, I mean, maybe combined.
Maybe. No dunce. I don't think I need to pay for him. He needs to pay for me.
Oh, if I get him a call in a few more times and do some just an excessive amount of shotguns, I might be able to pull that off.
I think he wants you. That's why he's having you shotgun all the time.
Well, I mean, so I've known Torres for a long time. Actually, we knew each other in the Army, and then when we got out here, obviously, reconnected. Got shithoused at his Huggies for Chuggies when he was having his baby, and it was not a great night for me. did some dumb things. That's what happens when I go out without my producer. Also my better half, the adult in the relationship, producer Amber, my wife. So she was not happy. I was not happy for like 3 days afterwards. It was one of the most hungover times I've ever been in my fucking life. But it was a good time. And I can thank the Vanilla Gorilla for all of that because he's the one that got us all to do keg stands before we left the house and decided to go to the bar.
Very nice.
But I also blame Torres for having us drink 3 bottles of tequila before that happened.
That's a bit. And I'm sure it was spread out amongst multiple people.
There were quite
still,
a few.
I've had my fair share of fun nights where tequila is involved. Most recently, donating a good $150 or so to Paul's Pub on tequila.
Oh, very nice.
I've not really been able to take shots of it since then, though I'll still fuck with a margarita.
Tannehill,
that's the benefit of your Tannehill is that he's able to run. He's able to follow those
He's
things.
an athlete.
Yep. Gets a big 25-yard gain there or so, and there's about a minute left in the game. They're going to be getting pretty close to field goal range.
No, I mean they're there right now. So this game could be over right here. We're going to see timeouts starting to get called. And Torres is actually, I'm pretty sure, correcting me on what happened that night. He says it was 8 bottles of tequila, which would explain why I don't remember
how many
dick
bottles it
and
was.
shit about that night.
Yeah. Well, I prefer to not have those nights too much anymore.
As agreed. Whenever I do drink like that, I'm too old for that shit now. I am hungover for several days.
I'm pretty good about not getting hungover. I'll feel it kind of like I got hit by a Mack truck, but I don't have necessarily the same like hangover response as a lot of people do. I'm not getting the bad headaches or anything like that. I just feel worn out, like I didn't sleep type thing, and almost just a bit of muscle exhaustion or whatever. But I don't get any of the throwing up or the headaches.
I don't do the throwing up thing. Like if I'm not throwing up the night of drinking, I'm not throwing up the next day.
Yeah.
I know a little bitch. I've always kind of prided myself. Like, oh yeah, it was so hungover I threw up. I was like, why? Your body's already processed all that alcohol. Why the fuck are you throwing up?
Yeah.
Like, come on. Let's be adults. As I sarcastically talk about, alcohol poisoning.
Yeah. But I tend to look, if I'm drinking heavy, I normally get to a point where I'm like, I'm tired. I'm just going to go to sleep and I can't help it. Let's go night.
I'm go to sleep.
I have to actively try to get fucked up. It has to be my mission.
See, I don't think that's ever my mission. Because I know it sucks the next day.
Yeah.
Actually, probably 2 days after.
The final timeout from the 49ers. We got 54 seconds left and about 25 yards left.
Apparently, somebody is saying that I am not too old for that. I don't know who Facebook user is. We're about to find out, I think.
I'm working on it.
All right. Third and 4. So they can run this down quite a bit.
Matthew Cooper.
Well, Matthew Cooper is also one of those guys who gets hungover like I do, or pretty close to. He's still pretty good. However, Matt is also, 6'12", 300 pounds, and can hold a lot more alcohol than I can.
He's a resident thick boy.
Yeah,
for sure.
Okay, so
just
moving into a position. Yep, moving position that kicker likes. They can kick the field goal.
Yep, so Tannehill did just a little boot to the right. Probably lost about a yard, maybe at most. But it's getting the ball into a position that works best for their kicker or that the kicker prefers. So this is just your classic posturing in order to kick this last field goal. So 49ers used up all their timeouts. They will not be able to ice Randy Bullock here. And it looks like
they'll call timeout probably with about 8 seconds left.
Yeah,
so the 49ers will get the ball. What can they do with it? Probably nothing. assuming that Randy Bullock makes this kick.
Yeah.
Now, this is not a short kick, but it is also not very long. It's under 50. Looks to be about, 49-yard kick based on the spot.
They were at about the 25-yard line. So
25, 35. Okay, so about a 43, 42-yard kick.
Nothing crazy, nothing out of the ordinary. It should be, dare I say, routine.
Should be just about there. They're getting the ball in the spot that he likes. So this is Randy Bullock's game right now.
9 seconds left on the clock. Coming out of the timeout right now.
So 44-yard kick from the 34. So 44.
Snap. Ball's up.
Ooh, pushed it. Oh, no, he didn't.
Just hooked it in.
Oh, man, that was fucking close. 4 seconds left in this game. 49ers do not look like they have a prayer unless they do some
They're going to have to do
Music City miracle type shit here.
A heroic kick return here, or if it's out of the back of the end zone, then they'll have one shot from
then it's either Music City miracle or annexation of Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
So if you guys do not know what the Music City miracle is, that was Wycheck throwing a forward pass to in the playoffs to win a game.
Man, y'all need to get on your Facebooks and update this stuff.
Say his name again.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm going to say Matthew Cooper. I just want to guess. I'm going to bet that is Lacey Cooper, but I could be wrong.
I don't know. It doesn't show on here.
Doesn't say who it was?
Nope.
So we got an anonymous source. We don't like anonymous sources.
Oh, does say Cooper now. Just updated.
Is that Lacey or Matthew?
Matthew
Cooper's. Yeah, I got it. I'm not sure what name I'm saying again. And then we got Torres again with another comment.
Not as thick as this podcast. You didn't do enough C's. So we're going to see that annexation of Puerto Rico play because they kicked it out of the end zone.
Yeah, annexation of Puerto Rico, one of the greatest plays in fictional football history. Once again, if you guys do not know what that is, I highly suggest the Google machine. All right. Here we go. I mean, this is completely terrible for my same game parlay. That's not going to hit. I did have the Titans plus 3.5.
All right.
I thought they would lose by a field goal, not win by one.
Empty backfield.
So Debo getting the ball.
Debo throws it back. We are seeing
annexation of Puerto Rico.
Kittle.
Annexation of Puerto Rico.
He slips. He should have been down there technically.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was down. And that is the end of the game.
That's it. All right. Well, I don't know if that counts for any yards for any of those
I don't
players
think,
or how that works for fantasy.
Whoever it ends on is who gets the yard.
Oh, man. I don't
So I think it's Ayuk.
Yep.
So that did not help. I would have loved the George Kittle yards. However, it did not matter because Debo did not get his rushing yards. He had 32, and Deontay Foreman didn't get his either. And we have another call. Joe Rockstar calling in.
To send a voicemail, press 2.
Joe Rockstar, you are on the line with the thickest podcast in sports. It sounds like somebody's getting in a car. I hope nobody is driving drunk.
No, I don't drink when I'm watching the game. Hey, I got to put it out there. It's my fault. I got to apologize to all the Niners fans. I got out of my routine.
You weren't wearing your 49ers mankini?
No, I should have sold everything I owned and flown out to Tennessee, and they would have won.
That's unfortunate.
You know, I just felt something was off. I like how the NFL kind of set it up too, like, you know, Thursday night game on the East Coast instead of maybe the Rams tonight or something. You know?
It was all just to make sure that Joe Rockstar wasn't there.
Yeah, Joe Rockstar could not be there, so that is why the
Yeah, that's
49ers
what it
are
was.
losing.
They're on to me, man. They're wise. Yeah, I went to rookies because that's where they've always won when I go there. I tried everything I could, but it was just doomed from the start.
Well, sorry.
Thousands of 49ers fans depend on me to do the right thing, and I let them down.
Sorry for your loss. I think we all are kind of hurting from that. Mike and I both thought the Niners are going to win this game, and people that we wanted to specifically have performances did not really perform for us. So it's just a depressing Christmas Eve.
Yeah, fantasy was not great for really anybody here in these terms. I know it wasn't great for my bets.
Yeah, I'm sorry about your bets.
Yeah, well, that's what happens when you gamble. That's what happens when you gamble. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I think it's because of fantasy. Like, this is my first time in the final two since the first season, and I'm gonna screw it up.
Well, there's always next year. Because, look, if you were to win this week, chances are you're going to play me next week, and I'll absolutely butt-fuck you. So
it's only taken me 13 years to get back into this position, but yeah, well, there's always next.
Doggy style? I got you.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think, like, if Fournette didn't go out, I'd be in good shape, but I'm going to be hurt.
Yeah, Fournette is hurting me going out as well in the fantasy terms, but we try to make do. Pick up Donald Jones.
So the bright side is I'm pretty sure we're still going to be in the playoffs. Just going to be a harder road.
Well, I don't think there was an easy road. Unless you're the number one seed, there's not a really easy road. You still are looking at 4 games now because the number one seed is the only team that gets that bye. So you're looking at
the Cowboys did just clinch a playoff berth because of this loss by the 49ers. So
yeah, I would rather. I'd kind of like a shot at maybe the Cowboys, or I know we lost to Arizona, but I'd like to play maybe Arizona. Something that keeps us indoors, outside of the cold, and out of Packer territory. So if they can lose to, I think as it stands right now, they play the Vikings, right? That'd be up.
The Cowboys.
The
Cowboys do play the Vikings if the playoffs were to be tomorrow.
And if the Vikings were to win that game, the Vikings would go on and play the Packers.
Probably.
Yeah, I'd like the Packers to go out sometimes. So
I feel like everybody wants the Packers to go out because the Packers are the best team in football right now.
During the playoffs, though, the Niners have always beaten the Packers, except for a little stint in the 90s.
Well, I mean, I don't get me wrong, I like your team, but the Packers have been so goddamn good.
Except when they almost lost the Raiders.
I mean, playoffs are a different season. We talked about that tonight. Playoffs are a different season.
They lost last year, and I think we threw the ball like 4 times.
Well, that's because the fucking Packers could not stop the run.
Yeah, that's true. Man, I'm just trying to look at the bright side because it's deep down inside. I'm dead. There's just twisted gnarled branches of disappointment.
Well, Joe, welcome to being a Browns fan.
I said it earlier to somebody, if you're a Browns fan, not really Browns. I think the Browns are all right. Lions and Jets fans have to love that team to stick with them.
Jaguars.
Well, trust me, the Browns fans love the Browns as well because we went through 22 years of just fucking turmoil.
Yep. Any of those teams that have had just perennial losing seasons for decades or no Super Bowls, never get into the playoffs. So Browns, Vikings, Jaguars, Jets, Lions, all these teams that are just always in the shitter. If you're sticking with them as a fan, that's a true fan.
Definitely. Yeah, I'm just spoiled. I'm spoiled from the 80s.
We can't all have Steve Young.
Yeah, well, we all can't be old enough to remember when our teams were good. Because if I lived in the 80s, I'd have loved the Browns then too, and I wouldn't have been so disappointed.
Yeah, right. All right, guys. Well, Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Joe.
I need to go wring out the tears out of my jersey.
All right. Well, get home safe. Enjoy the rest of your night, and Merry Christmas to you.
Happy Hanukkah, Joe.
You too. Take it easy, guys.
All right.
All right.
Lineman Lounge.
Lineman Lounge.
Later. All right. We also had one comment from the mom.
The Mama Carlisle came in. Tennessee is going to come back and crush the playoffs. Their guys who are out hurt will be back, and by then, my money's on them to take the AFC Championship. So Mama Carlisle is very much a sports fan. She is very much a football fan. And if she is right, and they do get Derrick Henry back, which that is still very much a possibility.
It is.
I do like the Titans to do some fucking damage in the playoffs.
Look, AJ Brown showed me a lot tonight. You know, obviously I can't play him this week. I'm definitely going to be considering playing him next week, regardless of if I win this game or not. Just based off of what I saw, he looked real good in this offense. Julio is a non-fucking factor.
Julio is a non-factor. Julio's not that guy anymore.
Yeah. I think that with the way that AJ Brown played tonight, that shows a lot for their passing game. And if you're able to get Derrick Henry back and he's not just out there as a
warm
decoy
body
or something like that, yeah, that makes them scary. Now they looked real good early on in the year and then kind of started to tail off before these injuries happened. But it could be kind of seen as a blessing in disguise. We have a longer football season this year.
Mm-hmm.
If you get some of your star players to sit out for a while, get rested, get healthy, and then come back at the end of the year and they're still in the playoffs, that could actually be that blessing in disguise. That could be a thing that teams are going to kind of look at going forward, is that if we have a good enough team where we're still going to get in the playoffs, we're not good enough for the 1 seed for whatever reason, if you're willing to admit that, but we're still going to be able to get in the playoffs. Let's take some of these guys out. Let's rest them. Not just at the end of the year, but let's give them 3-4 consistent weeks in the middle of the season to get healthy, get rested, make that final playoff push, and then have a good run in the playoffs. That's something to consider. I know that was something that was talked about when the NFL was talking about extending the season, right, not just to 17 games, but beyond.
Was there going to be a second bye week? Was there going to be
second bye weeks? Was something that was talked about. They were talking about putting a game cap, a regular season game cap on players, where it's like if we went to a 18 or 20 game season, players can only play 16 games.
Yeah,
something like that.
And that's honestly that's smart for the players would love that. Now, does that change contract negotiations?
Their contract stuff is going to be weird at that point.
Yeah.
Because as a player, like, let's say you're a premium running back and your contract is dictated based on how many yards that you get. And it's like, oh, we're playing the Jets this week. This is one of your weeks where we're going to sit you. And you're like, wait a fucking second.
Wait, hold on. I need 200 yards against these assholes.
I know this game doesn't matter because of the Jets, but I could fucking put up numbers against these guys. Let me play.
Yeah.
And honestly, all these players, they love being out there.
Yeah.
Like Dalvin's got a fucking separated shoulder and he's like supposed to be out for several weeks. He's like, no, I'm coming back this week. I want to play.
Yeah.
And you see that sort of passion from a lot of those players, from those real gamers. They want to be out there. So back to the Titans and their playoff push. That's definitely possible. Look, if Henry comes back, if that plant foot is good, they could be real dangerous.
I think if he gets back 85, 90-ish%, between 80 to 100%, then yeah, I think that they could absolutely be dangerous. I still worry about Tannehill. But if Derrick Henry is back to Derrick Henry-like things, or if he is full-on Derrick Henry, I'm not worried about Tannehill because Tannehill works better off the play action.
Once you have those other stars on the field, less of the onus is on him. I still would rather have someone better than Tannehill. I feel like when you have a situation like where Derrick Henry, Brown, when those guys aren't playing and you only have a Tannehill and everything's on you, then that's what it's not.
I don't want Tannehill.
Yeah.
So
you want someone that can be complementary to those guys while they're in and playing, but you want someone that can stand on their own if they're not around. You know, but beggars can't be choosers. We can't all have elite quarterbacks. So.
No, there's 5 elite, maybe 6 elite quarterbacks in the NFL, and Tannehill's not one of them. I don't have one of them. Baker Mayfield's not one. I don't think Kirk Cousins is an elite quarterback.
No.
I mean, if you're naming your elites, I'm going Tom Brady. I mean, I understand he's old man, but Tom is still elite.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers. I'm going to go Patrick Mahomes. I'm going to go. Ooh. I had a name, but I'm not sure if he's elite. Fringe elite.
Josh Allen. Do you think that he could carry his team without some of those weapons around him?
I mean, he doesn't. I mean, if I take away Stephon Diggs, is Josh Allen still Josh Allen? I don't know because I've seen him with. I've seen him without. He had a pretty decent year.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Josh Allen's elite. Herbert, not elite right now.
Not yet.
Russell Wilson was elite.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. Joey B, fringe.
Yeah, I wouldn't say I've seen enough.
A lot of arm talent, but I need to see more.
Yep, I wouldn't say I've seen enough.
Lamar is elite when healthy.
Yeah, he definitely does carry his whole fucking team, regardless of who's around him.
So we got 4 elite guys. We got a couple of fringe guys.
The difference with Lamar is that he doesn't have the passing attack or he isn't as good of a passer.
Well, Lamar is the best athlete in the NFL.
Yeah, so
that's what makes him elite.
Mm-hmm. So on the converse, if Lamar Jackson was on the Titans, I'd feel way better about the Titans. However, he can run that team without Derrick Henry and without AJ Brown type thing. It doesn't matter. Adding him on there as a passer doesn't really give me warm and fuzzies either.
I think if you gave Lamar a AJ Brown type guy, we would see a lot of interesting things.
Maybe
because AJ Brown will go up and make a play for you. Yeah. So I mean, we got teams on the elite quarterbacks. No. Not
Kyler.
No. I don't know. Dak was
not Dak.
Dak was fringe elite before this year. Kyler, no. So Tom, we got.
I wouldn't say Stafford's there yet either. No. Not yet. I wouldn't say that he is there in general. Yeah, I mean, you're only working with a couple guys that you really.
You're talking 4 to 5 elite guys that just will win you a fucking game. So most of the NFL learns how to win without that guy.
Yep.
The Packers have been incredibly lucky. They go from a goddamn Brett Favre to an Aaron Rodgers. That shit doesn't happen almost ever, and except for the 49ers in the 80s, 90s.
Montana to Steve Young type situation.
Yeah, that doesn't. It's so fucking rare.
Yeah.
And people will try to make the comparison. Oh, well, the Patriots go from Tom Brady to fucking Mac Jones. Mac Jones is not there yet. Yeah. Mac Jones has looked really good at times and also looked not really good. And that's not even including the fucking 3 pass game. That is completely thrown out the window. That game doesn't even count on his career as far as I'm concerned.
Yep.
So, yeah. You got 4 to 5 elite guys. Deshaun, I don't know. What's going to happen after a year of being out of football?
I'd be willing to take a gamble on him, but not for the money that they're going to have to pay, and all of his legal issues would have to be cleared up before.
Well, it's not even the money. I don't have a problem with his salary. What I have a problem with is what it would cost to get him.
That's in my butt. Excuse me. That's what I meant. I misspoke. The compensation that you would require to give up for him, or what Houston's asking for him, that's my problem.
At max, I'm giving 2 1s. Max.
I'm not even there.
I would go a 1 and 2 2s for sure.
I'm almost at a 1 and a 4. That's
really?
Almost my max at this point. Just because it's been so long.
It has been a long time. He's been out of football for a very long fucking time.
Yes. And even if you were to go with the legal issues and settle them all out of court, that's still a big fucking cum stain on his pants that he's going to carry with him to whatever team that he goes to.
Yeah. So you, as an owner, you have to think about the repercussions of bringing a guy like that in.
Yeah. And winning makes people forget that stuff.
It does.
But it's not a guarantee with him because you don't know if this time off is going to make a difference or not. And some people it will, some people won't.
It does. Name a guy that has taken that much time off and come back and been that good. Gronk?
Michael Jordan.
Gronk.
Yeah. He's taking time off.
A year off, and then came back, and it was pretty goddamn good. I don't know if he's not old Gronk, but he's pretty fucking good. Yeah. I'd put him top 8 tight end in the league.
Let's see here. Best players to come out of retirement.
In the NFL?
Yep.
I mean, Brett Favre, because he did it four fucking times.
Yeah, but he never really did.
No, he never retired and then got his way. And, well, he spent 1 year in purgatory with the Jets and then got to Minnesota just to shit on the fucking Packers, which you still don't claim that year of Brett Favre.
Yeah, it's an asterisk. Marshawn Lynch, 2015 with Seattle, retired, came back with the Raiders.
No,
not elite or anything, but he was very good with them.
I don't know about very good. I don't even think Marshawn went over fucking 800 yards that year.
Randy Moss, he retired 2010, came back in 2012, joined the 49ers.
No.
What?
No.
It's Brett Favre stuff in here where it's like he would retire and come back the same.
Retire, yeah.
Ricky Williams, Miami Dolphins,
okay, so
2003 to 2005.
Ricky had a pretty good stint when he came back. I see why that's higher on the list. Ricky was supremely talented. I mean, the Saints gave up their entire fucking draft to draft him.
Yeah.
If he would have stopped smoking weed or had played 10 years down the line, it wouldn't have been that big of a deal.
So Deion Sanders retired in 2000 with the Washington Redskins at the time, and then came out of retirement in 2004, 4 years later, to play with the Ravens.
I do remember that. He wasn't terrible.
And then 1998, Green Bay Packers defensive end Reggie White retired, came out of retirement in 2000 to join the Carolina Panthers.
I don't
Rest in
remember.
peace.
I do not remember Reggie as a Panther at all. I don't even fucking remember that.
Yep. Oh.
Yeah, so I mean, you don't get guys that sit out for that amount of time that come back and really produce.
Yeah,
this doesn't happen.
Yep. You don't really have guys that go out in.
If you're out for a year, if you're out for a year, that is forever in the NFL.
Yeah,
that is a long fucking time.
But we've had years where you've had guys who have been out for an entire season due to injury.
Yeah, due to injury, not due to a retirement or I want to be done or I don't
he's
like
not
this.
retirement. That's the thing is Deshaun Watson hasn't retired.
But it's not an injury either.
He still is practicing. He's still in football form. He is choosing not to play for that team.
Choosing not to play.
But I think that he's probably still in football shape, football headspace to an extent. It's a different situation than a retirement.
Yeah.
But
so you can come back from injury. Like Adrian Peterson comes back and was fucking amazing. Almost broke the record.
Absolutely.
After an ACL tear. This is not the same situation.
It's not. And I don't know if it helps or hurts. I don't know. Having that much time off to get your body healthy and stuff like that, if you're still truly, if he could go out and play football tomorrow type shape, which I kind of doubt he's in.
I doubt it.
Because he knows he's not playing this year, especially after going past the trade window, past the trade deadline. He knows I'm not playing for Houston, so I'm not playing for anybody.
Yeah.
So my offseason starts now type thing. That could be his mindset to an extent. He seems perfectly content, honestly, with not playing football again. And is that the type of guy that you want on your team?
No, not as a quarterback, for goddamn sure. I want a guy who's fighting to get on the field.
So
that's one of the things where I really like Baker is because he's fighting to be on the field. Baker should have had season-ending surgery. Absolutely.
It sounds like Howie Roseman needs to send 4 first-round picks.
Yeah, he probably fucking will. And Mama Carlisle come back in. Deion was a badass. I don't know if you watched the last episode, Mom, where we talked about Deion just absolutely shitting on Division I football and getting the number 1, number 2 recruit in the country.
Mm-hmm.
Deion is a badass. Not was. Deion is a badass.
Yep.
He's fucking
Prime's still doing his thing.
So we talked about this last week, right? So I was like, Jackson State is FCS, they're still playing. There has to be a playoff. I had to go and do some research. The FCS playoffs are very fucking weird. So there's like 11 conferences that get an automatic bid. You win your conference, you go to the playoffs. Then you got a couple of at-large bids. Well, there are more than So, you get 5 at-large bids. Well, there's like 13 conferences. One of the conferences that does not participate in the FCS championship is the SWAC, the Historically Black Colleges and Universities, HBCUs.
Mm-hmm.
That conference does not necessarily participate in the FCS championship. They just play their football. They have their own little bowl game, the bowl game that Jackson State was in.
Okay.
And I did not know that. I had to go and do some research. I did not know enough about FCS football to understand how their playoff work, because they get 16 teams into that fucking tournament.
Yep.
And Jackson State was not in it because the SWAC does not participate unless they're given an invitation and choose to take it. Jackson State did not.
Okay.
So
that's interesting, because they've only lost one game this year, I believe.
Well, they just lost that bowl game.
No, did they?
They did.
Okay. Well, bummer.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it's going to matter in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah.
Deion's going to build a good program.
For his first year in there, what he did with that program, he did very well.
Yeah.
So it's only going to go up from here.
All right, man. We got anything else?
No.
No.
I don't think so.
All right, guys. We are going to tap out. This is the Lineman Lounge. Thank you all very much. Thank you for the calls. Thank you for the comments. Thank you for watching. Please go on the YouTube, like the page, follow the page, share the Facebook, share the Twitter, comment on the Twitter. We love the calls. We love the mailbag. We haven't had a mailbag in a couple of weeks. Any support that we get from you guys is amazing. Makes me feel really good. I feel like the things that we're putting together actually mean something, that you guys are invested in that, because I know that we are, and to get that feedback is just phenomenal. We love you guys. Thank you for rocking with us. Talking to Amber about trying to get some stickers put together, get maybe a little merch. I know we're not a big brand. We're not on Barstool. We're not Pat McAfee. We're not those guys. But anytime that we can, put our names out there, get involved, get you guys some stuff. I want to do it because this is the thing that I love. That sports is my life. It always has been since I was a little fucking boy. My mother got me into sports, and it has only grown from there. My wife has now acclimated herself to the sports life, So guys, thank you. I cannot say it enough. You got anything for the people?
No, man. Just I hope everyone has a happy, safe holidays. It's going to be fun for us around here. We'll have another little break here. It's a little 3-day weekend, basically. Everyone stay safe. Thanks for supporting us. Thanks for watching along with us. Thanks for calling in, everything. It's great to have that interaction with everybody. Keep pushing suggestions and things that you'd like to see from us, whether it be on socials or in person. Let us know. We're all about making this the best experience that we can for you guys. So thanks everyone for watching. Have a happy and safe holidays, both this weekend and next weekend, and we will see you sometime next week.
Absolutely, guys. Thank you very much. This is the Lineman Lounge. Merry Christmas. See?
Merry Chrysler.